The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Good afternoon, St. Louis. DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Wednesday, right? Yeah.
Right. Sure. Fine. I guess so.
So, fair warning, I'm in my quarterly bad mood.
Uh-oh.
Only happens quarterly, doesn't even happen monthly.
And it just happened?
It just sort of like, there are a few things that are bugging me, which I'm not going to talk about because by tomorrow I won't care. And I'm old enough and smart enough and wise enough now to realize like when that happens, you know, when you're like, oh, I could talk to the person about this, but I'll change my mind tomorrow. But then like, it's my mental illness doesn't come out in meanness or grumpy or bad moods, except about once a quarter.
All right.
And then it just feels, it's like if anyone out there is like this, it just feels the same as when you get a stomach ache or a pain in your knee. It's just there. It's just like, oh, here it is. Hello, darkness, my old friend, you know, and you just kind of got to get through it. So, which is harder to do when you do a 4-hour radio show, but it's easier to do when you've done it for 25 years. You have a relationship with the audience and you can just go, hey, here's the deal.
That's a good point.
It really helps.
Yeah.
You know, because the only thing that could make it worse is having to fake it for 4 hours. You know, fake being Jolly Rancher.
Yeah, I can see that. Like we're just not feeling it, but you got to somehow paint the face and put on the hands and be like, yeah.
I've always said this job's like being a high-priced hooker. Mm-hmm. You show up. You do your job, whether you feel like it or not. You go home, you take a shower, and you buy something expensive.
All righty, then. That's an interesting description.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
It's pretty accurate.
Pretty accurate.
Well, except you're probably not judged for doing this job. People judge.
Yeah.
People tend to be a little judgy about the other.
You ever do one of your shows, Rach, and you're just not in the mood?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Part of the job, though.
Yeah, you just have to make it happen. And then also it's important to keep in mind what we do is very cool. Like even when it is a bad day, even when you don't feel like doing it, you have to kind of muster up that gratefulness and that blessed feeling that you get to be in this position. And that helps.
Yeah, it doesn't help me. I know what you're saying, and I wish I were that kind of person, but it doesn't. Like, I know all those things are true, but feeling and telling myself good things doesn't help.
Really?
Yeah. It kind of pisses that guy off inside me.
Oh, so like, you get pushback.
Yeah, he's like, shut the F up. Just let me have my bad mood. Quit trying to,
I gotcha.
Put glaze on it.
Yeah, I get you.
This is an interesting job because of the nature of like the clocks and the schedule. Like 1 o'clock is going to come whether you're ready for it or not.
There's
no
I'll be there at 1:30.
Yeah, there's no like, I'm a little behind today. Let's push this back 10 minutes or whatever. Yeah. It's like you got to be there in the seat.
Yeah.
Ready for it. Yep.
Tell you one thing, help me get off my chest, because we don't talk a lot about Trump. It just pisses half the people off. But I will talk about, so there's this professor named Steven Pinker, who I believe is at Harvard. And he's just next level genius, and he's a social psychologist. And he talks about social norms and how important they are. And he describes a social norm as, for example, Wheels, I know that you know that I know that you know this thing.
Right.
We all know it.
Right.
We all know the sky's blue. We all know the water's wet. And until recently, politically, things used to be like that. And the left and the right would say, the sky's clearly blue. but we see it as light blue. You see it as dark blue. Let's try to work this out. Or if not, we'll have an election and we'll decide whether it's going to be light blue or dark blue. And lately, and a lot of it is Trump and his personality and the way he conducts himself. But like the stuff with the Epstein letter, it's a great example. I don't understand why people don't use more common sense. And I hate living in a world, in a country where one side wants you to disbelieve your eyes. So I just want to make one point on this Epstein letter. And you know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about that creepy ass, whatever letter that got into his birthday book, and this like back and forth between an imaginary Trump and Epstein, and you're my best pal, and life's a secret, let's keep it that way, and a drawing of a naked pubescent woman, and then the signature, which he says is not his, but looks exactly like his. Here's what I don't get. And maybe someone could help me with this. If you believe Trump, that's not his, he didn't do it, he didn't sign it, you have to believe that someone did. In 2003-ish, when they were friends openly, before any of this stuff, someone had to prank him or set him up in a way that 20 years later would come back to haunt him. And they had to write this really super weird, messed up thing, get it to Epstein, get it in this birthday book with no one knowing that it wasn't Trump, no one saying, hey, Donald, thank you for that letter I got. I put it in my birthday book. No follow-up, no nothing. The person surreptitiously forges it, gets it in the birthday book, and then just stays quiet for 22 years. Does that make sense to anyone? In the law, when you do a case, depending on the kind of case it is, it's what's more likely true. And one thing I always said to people, to juries when I was an attorney is, look, the guy on the other side from me is very good and very persuasive, but don't check your brain at the door. And don't check your brain with me. If I'm saying something that you think doesn't quite fit, I'm fudging it, I'm exaggerating, then you go against me. Don't check your brain at the door. Which is more likely? The Trump who we know is creepy, he's been adjudged by a court to have done some terrible things, sent that letter to his buddy, and that was it? And that was just fine for 2003? Or that someone went to this incredible length, pulled off this pretty incredible feat of getting it into this guy's personal stuff that he left behind when he died, forged his signature almost perfectly, and no one ever mentioned it. I kind of don't care either way, whether he did or not. It's not an impeachable offense. He wasn't the president back then. It's creepy. It's weird. It's a brick in the wall. But at the end of the day, I don't really care. But I do care when the whole country is told once again to not believe their eyes. Make any sense?
Yep. Very much.
So that's adding to my bad mood.
Yeah, I am feeling kind of similarly. It's strange to see all these things happening before us and just think like, well, the best part is we can't do anything about any of it. So it's like, I mean, whatever will continue to come out about this because the situation just seems to be getting worse and darker. And we're all trying to be convinced that there's such a normal thing as a birthday book, which is very strange in itself. We can't do anything. We have no control over it. There's nothing we can do. We can't get him out of office, and he's not going to leave. So it's like, no matter what happens, we're just stuck with it. The people that have the power to kick him out won't do it.
This kind of thing that pisses me off the most, because I'm a grown up and I realize that elections have consequences. Donald Trump and MAGA have a very different worldview than I do, but they got more votes. So they get to do what they want to do. I'm less bothered by the big sweeping things than I am this kind of stuff. This personal lying to the American public and expecting us to be so stupid that we just go like, oh, that makes sense. That's what gets to me.
Yeah.
That's what sticks in my craw.
Well, what drives me, I mean, more nuts to that, see, because there are a lot of people that would look at all of this stuff that we're seeing, like the birthday letter or whatever, and say that could easily be forged. Anyone could have done that. How do we know it's been in there for 20 years? It could have been just put in there. They believe in the deep state. They believe there is this group of people that are deeply embedded and they just don't want to be uprooted or whatever. I mean, but take that out. 1 year ago, last summer, Donald Trump was explicitly asked by Fox News, would you declassify the Epstein files? And his answer was, yeah, I would. And then his official campaign Twitter account tweeted out, President Trump says he will declassify all of the 9/11 files, JFK files, and Epstein files. And he and all of his surrogates were pounding that message home. We'll release the files. So it was a big deal 1 year ago, big enough for you to use it in your campaign to convince people to vote for you. And now you're calling it a hoax. How does that not set off your alarms?
Yeah.
If you have a shred of common sense, how do those two forget what anyone outside says? Forget what any Democrat says, any law enforcement official, any lawyer. Look at the difference in what he said and what his people have said from 1 year to the next. And what's the difference? The difference is now he's elected. So now you're in the position where you just do whatever you want. When you're trying to get elected, you're going to say anything. So it could be you knew there was nothing to it and you used it anyway because he was president for 4 years already. And you knew there was nothing, but you threw up BS to get people to vote for you. And or there's all those things and you just don't care because it's not convenient for you anymore for whatever the reason is. It could be, if you want to give him all the benefit of the doubt, it could be as simple as I don't need that anymore. I'm president. What do I care about any of that stuff anymore? It's past, which is how he kind of dismisses it, right? But if you're a rational person, even if you vote for the guy, how do you not take a look at the contradiction from the man himself and from his people from 1 year to the next and not notice that and be weirded out by that?
Because it happens slowly.
Good point.
And you just get beaten down and you just get tired. And like Andrew said, ultimately, there's really nothing you can do except look at the situation and go, oh, I guess he was really good friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Interesting. And then just try to move on with your day. Because what can you do? Really? What can you do?
Well, I mean, the reason we all bring it up, it's like, it's almost, Dave, I don't know if you agree with this. Rach, Andrew, I don't know if you guys agree with this, but it's almost like a lot of people are trying to attempt an intervention with people that just won't see it. And you just keep tapping them on the shoulder like, how can you not see it? How can you not see it? It's right there. How do you not see it? Well, that's the point. It doesn't, and this is not defending or taking up for any other person in politics because they're all shady and a lot of them are doing weird, bad things. It's just this point. Forget anything else. Well, you have direct contradictions from the person himself. Just 1 year later, when he had access to all of this and his people had access to all of this for 4 years, from 2016 to 2020.
Well, like our friend Brian, who is our friend, he's on every day on the stream, says kind of like Kamala Harris in the Dems, right there. Stop it.
But this is he's right about the example.
Right, but stop it because I don't do that.
Right.
If someone says something about someone I support, I don't say, but what about your guy?
Yeah.
I agree with you, Brian, that the country was gaslit. I agree with you that there's lots of stuff that Biden and Harris that has nothing to do with this.
We've also talked about it.
And we also talked about that endlessly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it's about us,
if
we talked about that in the real time.
You have to go against someone else. There's something wrong right there.
That's the point. It's the what about. And this is where politics is. Not just right to left, but also left to right. What about your guy? What about our guy? Well, so there were people at that time defending the Biden thing. Well, what about Trump? It's not a defense.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
Your defense should be about what you are saying and doing.
Even when they were saying, well, Trump, he has dementia too.
Doesn't matter.
He this, he that, doesn't matter.
Right.
We're talking about Joe Biden.
Right.
And we're talking about his physical and mental capabilities that were just shown in this debate.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And her separate thing now is like, oh, well, now I'm going to tell the truth when I was covering everything up, when it was time to cover it up. Like, well, I don't trust you either. But that's not the subject that was brought up. Yeah. I mean, I don't get the whole. How do you? I mean, to me, it's like you're missing the whole thing. It's the contradiction that matters. It's not really the details. Why are you changing your story? And not just changing it, complete 180, complete opposite. It goes from being a big deal,
very important,
big deal that all your people are shouting about,
to a hoax.
To it's nothing. There's nothing there, and it may be nothing there, which means you trumped it up. Sorry, bad pun. I didn't mean to do that. Which means you blew that up during the campaign, only to fool people into voting for you.
I don't know. I have this sneaking suspicion that it's highly unlikely that there's nothing there.
Yeah, and
highly unlikely.
Well, even this, like, if I had sent that creepy ass letter and I knew it was in the Wheeler file and the people are likely to find it, I probably don't want that to be out. Even though it's not a smoking gun to him doing anything with underage girls, which I've been on the record, I would be very surprised if he did.
Yeah.
I think that Biden had this stuff for 4 years. He didn't come out with anything terrible about Trump. So that sort of shows that at worst, it's probably embarrassing.
So it also shows that it's either not there or the whole thing was so pervasive that it takes everybody down.
Right.
And then power.
Yeah, there could be names on
as
both
I mentioned,
sides.
Power protects power, because Epstein was known to do that.
Yeah.
To hang with people of all. It didn't matter. He wasn't only Republicans and only Democrats. He was hanging with everybody.
It is The Emperor Has No Clothes.
Yeah.
Which I remember in like second grade learning that fable and getting it. Like, I remember getting it and going like, oh, I understand what you're trying to say.
Because nobody will tell the king.
You see through them, but no one's going to say it.
Right.
And Stephen Pinkerton, the professor, was talking about this the other night when I saw him. And he talked about the emperor having no clothes. And he says, in that fable, once the kid said, look, the emperor has no clothes, then everyone was like, yeah.
Right.
We see it too. But it took this kid going like, this dude's naked.
Right.
What's he doing?
Yeah.
Because before then, everyone knew what they saw, but they weren't brave enough to say anything. Yeah, I went a little long there.
Yeah.
Tell you guys about Underdog Fantasy Sports app. Underdog's been a lot of fun for me. And they took a little time off from the show between seasons, and I did not. I kept playing my Underdog because I enjoy it. I enjoy it because it's simple. Not going to lie to you. I'm not very smart when it comes to tech. I get pretty frustrated pretty easily, and I probably wouldn't have used it had it been too taxing on me. But it's as simple as, for example, with football, you choose whether your favorite player will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. If you get your entries right, which I did quite a bit over the summer with the Cardinals and playing baseball, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash, and you can play for as little as $1. So I've really enjoyed it. I know my buddy Andrew has enjoyed it. It's simple. It's straightforward. You have abilities to affect it. It's not just like blindly saying this or that. You may know a lot about baseball. You may know a lot about football. You may think you have some sort of information about the Vikings game coming up on Sunday, and you can use that to your advantage. Download the app today. Sign up with promo code Glover to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code Glover. Must be 18 and present in Missouri. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. If you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
In the fight against Alzheimer's, now matters more than ever because now we have new treatments that could change everything. This is Megan Lynch. Join me Saturday, October 25th at the Chesterfield Amphitheater for the St. Louis Walk to End Alzheimer's. It's the region's largest fundraiser to fight dementia and support those living with the disease because now is the time for action. You can join in the fight by registering for the walk at alz.org/walk. That's alz.org/walk.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. YourEyeDoc.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
News, talk, cars. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS 126. Well, Elon Musk is no longer the richest guy in the world.
Saw this.
Yeah.
Saw this.
It's me.
It's Dave.
Now you're all mine.
You did win the Powerball.
I did.
Rich in
I
friendships.
didn't get two numbers. I got them all.
Damn it.
Rich in love and fulfillment.
No, it's Ellison who does something. I don't know.
He's the Oracle. Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
And because it's a tech service company with all the AI stuff needing the storage space, all that. That's what they do. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Man, all I can say is I'm really happy for him.
Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah. You think Larry
It's
Ellison is going to now
It's about
try to mess
time.
with all of our country?
Feels good.
Now we're mad at billionaires.
Well, I mean, I've been mad at those guys. Not all of them. I'm sure there are some that are fine. There are a lot of others, though, that are too busy trying to keep tilting the rules more in their favor than they already are. I mean, if you've already gotten to being the richest man in the world, I think the rules have done just fine for you. Stop trying to change them.
I saw a really dumb
Amen.
Elon thing the other day. If we want to continue to laugh at how dumb he is,
What's that?
he boosted this claim that the AP has written something like 40 some odd thousand articles about George Floyd since he died, which would equate to about 40 every single day. So he thinks it's like realistic that the AP, the Associated Press, has written 40 articles about George Floyd's
Every day.
every single day since he died, which is a very funny to just be like, so you just don't even think about things before you say them, do you? Like you just.
But
blast them out.
you would also think that a genius could do basic math.
Yeah, you would think that like even then he'd be like, well, hold on, 40,000. It was like 5 years ago. That's probably not even possible.
Hey, speaking of numbers, and to end this first half hour on a good, positive DGS note, Andrew was just showing me that we already get over 1 million podcast downloads a year, and we just had a big jump.
Yeah.
So
It's a significant jump. The growth is we're growing a lot, people. It's really fun.
So thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks. Guys.
Tell people about the show. And if you can't listen live like you are right now, if you're hearing me, go download the podcast.
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey.
I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman.
From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, right perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM, your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
At California Psychics, we know that sometimes you can wake up thinking,
I don't know if I'm in the right career.
Ew. Or the right relationship.
But whatever your life dilemma, at California Psychics, we'll give you the guidance you need to feel certain about your life choices. And because we only connect you with the very best, we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
Dave Murray's weather forecast is sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm.
Temperature should peak out at about 90 degrees this afternoon. That's about 10 degrees warmer than yesterday. Tons of sunshine. Tonight, clear skies. Sunset getting earlier and earlier. The evening will be quite enjoyable around town. 66 for the low. Evening temperatures dropping through the 80s. Thursday, sunny skies, nice morning, but bring it up to 92 in the afternoon. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that's our hottest stretch, though no record heat. But we're going to feel it. It's going to be a bit of a jolt to the system. Sunny skies, 95, 96 Friday, Saturday, and again on Sunday. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
So Smart Mouth is the only mouthwash that is scientifically proven to eliminate and prevent your bad breath for 24 hours. You just need to use it twice a day, 2 rinses a day, once in the morning, once at night. That's 24-hour bad breath protection. It is a little pricier than your average mouth rinse, but that's because it actually works. If you pick up a bottle of the other stuff after using Smart Mouth, you will notice like, hey, this just kind of was minty water. It just kind of masks my bad breath. It was back in an hour. Why am I even wasting my time with this? You really need to pivot to Smart Mouth and have fresh breath all the time.
My other clients won't like this, but if you're going to buy a DGS product this month, buy Smart Mouth. Everyone needs it. Everyone can use it. And this is under the whole you don't know what you don't know. I'm sure there are products that I don't use that you do that you're absolutely confident that I would love. And if I tried them, I would probably be hooked. That's me with Smart Mouth. It works. It's great. It gives you fresh breath. It keeps you out of weird social interactions, and it helps you if you don't go to the dentist enough, like me. If you get the clinical, go to smartmouth.com/Glover for a $2.50 off coupon.
You've got a ton of equity in your home. You're sitting on a gold mine, and you could do so much with all that cash, like travel, invest it, or pay off debt, but you can't touch it unless you sell your home. You really don't want to move. And besides, homes are sitting on the market for a long time these days. You're trapped, right? Well, not with TrueHold. With TrueHold, you can cash out your equity in as little as 30 days. And listen, you don't have to move. You can stay in the home you love as a renter. So that's TrueHold's Sell and Stay program. You cash out your entire home's value and stay put. TrueHold even covers property taxes, property insurance, and essential repairs. So imagine using that equity to travel, invest, or pay off debt and stay in your home. It's brilliant, especially in this slow market. You get an all-cash offer now by calling 1-855-300-9993. You can also visit TrueHold.com, the smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's TrueHold.com.
Don't miss Mosby Building Arts Home Improvement Show, Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX. One of the last call-in shows where you can get live answers to your remodeling, design, and construction questions. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m.
DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State. New Missouri customers can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. And when we go live, place just a $5 bet to unlock $300 in bonus bets. Starting November 17th, you can create your DraftKings Sportsbook account in Missouri and get ready for launch day on December 1st. DraftKings Sportsbook brings you everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Fridays mean football. From a zoo to the NFL, we've got your weekend covered.
On three, ready?
It's Friday football on KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DJS on KMOX 135. Probably shouldn't be saying anything about this on the air yet because it's very early. But my band is working out the possibility of playing out at the Hub, the District in Chesterfield in late October on a Monday night with my band and the Steve Ewing Band.
Hey there.
So that would be pretty cool.
That's not bad.
Yeah, just do a little celebration of the 25th anniversary and bringing the band back after a few years. So be on the lookout for that.
All right.
And the great thing about it is my band would probably open, play an hour. And then Steve, who's amazing, comes up. And then I can just hobnob with all the people.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
just hang out.
Just hang out.
Get in the mosh pit.
There you go. I'll be the mosh pit. Attorney Brad Young joins us. Hello, Brad.
Hey, Dave.
So I was sharing with the folks at the beginning of the show that I'm in a bad mood, and I think you're going to put me in a worse mood because I think I'm wrong about something. And although I don't mind being wrong, I don't want to be wrong about this because it makes me sad about my country. Yesterday, I was talking about the Supreme Court saying that, race and physical appearance and language can be an identifying factor for detaining someone or arresting someone. And I thought that was a shift and was a change from what the Constitution said, and that you couldn't just look at someone's face and say, I believe you're illegal because you're dark complected or you're wearing these kind of clothes or XYZ. But I heard you this morning on with Total Information AM, and I think maybe I'm wrong, and that was the law already.
Right. I mean, if you go back and if you want to Google this case, I think it's United States versus Brignoni. It's from 1975. And the Supreme Court held, again, what were that, 50 years ago, that the Border Control can consider, and this is from the decision, don't hate me for saying this, but from the decision, it says the Border Patrol may consider, quote, Mexican appearance, unquote, as one factor among others in terms of justification for the police or for the Border Patrol, really Border Patrol, not police, but for the Border Patrol to stop a person. But the court went to great lengths in this 75 decision to say ethnicity alone is insufficient for reasonable suspicion. So it has to be their ethnicity plus something else to justify a stop or an inquiry.
And did the Supreme Court change that this week?
No, they didn't. Here is the main difference between what they did this week and what's been the law for over 50 years. The court emphasized back in the 75 decision that the reason the Border Patrol could do that when other police cannot, okay, you can't pull someone over because of how they look. There's a common phrase, driving while black. That's illegal. That's unconstitutional. But the Supreme Court said in 75 that along the border, because you've got the added essence here of if there's going to be illegal immigration from Mexico, they're going to appear to be Mexican because they're coming from Mexico, that they're going to give the Border Patrol a little more leeway. But they limited that geographically. Mm-hmm. So in other words, the Supreme Court said, yeah, if you're at the border, you can use ethnicity as one of several factors to justify stopping someone and checking to see if they're a citizen. But that wouldn't apply in Toledo, Ohio. That wouldn't apply in Birmingham. That only applies along the actual southern border. So the change, if there's any change, would be that the court this week didn't put that kind of a restriction, that geographical restriction on that. So that does represent some degree of a change.
So, Brad, on the front page of Drudge, and of course, this is like, who cares? But it just sort of the flavor of the nation right now. On the front page of Drudge yesterday, it had a picture of a few of the Supreme Court justices and said all the president's men. And the article was about how they are rubber stamping everything for Trump. As a very good, smart lawyer and conservative, do you agree with that, or do you think that's hyperbole?
I think it's hyperbole for this reason. A lot of the stuff that the court is doing, like, for example, what they did in this particular instance as it relates to the ability of Border Patrol to stop and frisk or to stop and ask for ID. A lot of that's happening on what we call the shadow docket. And the shadow docket is not an opportunity. There's no briefing. There's no oral arguments. It's just the court, like, throwing a Hail Mary out there, and we'll deal with the consequences later. They're doing that because they want lower courts to fully decide these issues, and they don't want to make a formal ruling. So they're eliminating these stays that have the appearance of rubber stamping. But really, I think what they're doing is they're trying to force the lower courts to make a decision so that the Supremes can pick apart and analyze what the lower courts do instead of dealing with it as a court of first impression. Does that make sense?
That's why we have you on. Yeah, that makes sense. One more question. Do you guys have anything on this topic before I move on?
I do.
Yeah.
Brad, in regards to the Brignoni-Ponce case you were talking about, you said you can't stop someone just because they look like they could be of Mexican heritage. There has to be something else. Can you give us a couple of examples of what that something else could be that would give cause to stop someone?
Sure. I'm going to create a hypothetical. Let's say that there is a chicken processing plant in Amarillo, Texas, and the ICE gets a tip that there's illegal immigrants working in this chicken processing plant. If they go in and they see a bunch of people who have the appearance of being from Mexican descent, now they have the tip of illegal immigrants working in the facility, plus the appearance of the workers, means that they could go and start asking them questions. So if they just drove by and said, hey, there's a chicken processing plant, I bet you there's some illegal immigrants in there, let's check it out, that would not be sufficient because there would be no tip or no additional evidence that illegal immigrants were working there.
So what's the, on the follow-up on all of this, what's the standard for the difference between what you would need to stop someone and ask them, hey, show me your ID, are you a U.S. citizen, whatever, versus just full-on arresting someone? I mean, so if you go up to someone and you suspect that they're illegal, but you have no evidence other than the fact that you got a general tip about the factory that you mentioned, and they just didn't have their ID on them. Let's say they say it's in my car or it's at my house, I don't have it, whatever. I don't know. We're not knowing at that moment whether that's true or not. Is there enough evidence right then and there to arrest that person?
There would be enough evidence to detain, but not to arrest. And it's easier to discuss this in the example of traffic stops because there's lots of case law on this. Right. There's a very famous case, Terry versus Ohio, which says that you have to have reasonable suspicion of a crime being committed to stop someone and ask them questions. But we've all seen this in TV or TikTok videos. And when the cop comes up, they got a reasonable suspicion you were going 60 in a 55-mile-an-hour zone. I want to pull you over. But once they pull you over, they smell alcohol. They see drugs in the back seat, and now you're arrested. So there has to be, number one, a reasonable suspicion to stop and question. But number two, there has to be evidence of a crime before you can actually be taken down to the pokey and processed and thrown in the slammer. So those are the different standards that we're dealing with, even in this immigration area.
It's fascinating because we're seeing now there are a bunch of cases where the cases are just being dropped by the Justice Department. Like they arrest somebody, they charge them, and then when it's time for court, they're just dropping them because they don't have any evidence. But so they're arresting people without any evidence and then just turning them loose and saying, well, sorry.
Well, you can detain someone, for example, you can detain a person for up to a certain number of hours, depending on state law where you are, or depending on federal law and the circumstances. You can detain someone, but unless you have evidence of a crime, You can't just keep them locked up for no reason. There has to be some sort of charging documents and evidence in order to keep someone behind bars for any more than 72 hours or 3 or 4 days or something that's nominal, until a judge can make an initial inquiry about whether there's enough evidence to keep them in jail. So these situations that you're talking about, I suspect that they ask somebody, hey, show your ID. They said, I don't have any ID. Okay, you're coming downtown with me. We're going to lock you up in some facility. But if they provide evidence, they're out. Or if nobody provides evidence and they just don't want to prosecute, then they're let out. But those folks aren't being, they're not being kept in jail for a very long period of time.
Well, these were cases where they actually got to the point of a trial and a grand jury says you got nothing. And then they just drop the charges.
Okay.
And
well,
the
they
point
had
is
to
that,
have
like,
something.
Well, no, I mean, that was the whole point. The point was they're just rounding people up and sorting it out later rather than going by what we're talking about, which is you got to have some evidence. You got to have a reason to talk to that person. You have to have a reason to think that they broke the law. And there have been all these cases pretty recently where they're getting to the point where the grand jury, because I think Jeanine Pirro was asked about this and basically said, well, we can't make the grand juries do what we want. But the grand jury is looking at it saying you have no evidence at all. And then the Justice Department isn't fighting that. They're like, okay, fine, they're gone. You can just drop the charges.
Well, I would have to look at those specifics, Wheels, because technically there has to be some type of evidence to hold someone up to the point where they take it to the grand jury. Now, that evidence may be flimsy. That evidence may be suspect or questionable, but there has to be something. You can't, believe it or not, despite what a lot of people may think, you can't just lock somebody up for no reason. There has to be some reason to keep them detained.
All right, that's attorney Brad Young. He's with us a couple, 3 times a week. Brad, appreciate it as always.
Hey, my pleasure, guys.
Let me tell you about this new Pretzel Cheddar Club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
You know, despite what we hear in the news, the world isn't all bad.
That's right. A little kindness can go a long way, like holding the door open, sharing a compliment, or just being polite.
It doesn't cost a thing, but it can mean everything to someone else.
So let's all do our part, one small act at a time.
Because kindness is contagious.
The Chris and Amy Show, spreading kindness. In partnership with Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electrical.
Celebrate the month of September with Zero Res and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129. Take $75 off your air duct cleaning as well. Book online at ZeroResSTL.com and take advantage of these huge savings. Spell it forward, spell it backwards. Always spells the same. Zero Res.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Many of you know that my inspiration for becoming an accident attorney was my brother Tim, who was rendered a quadriplegic at age 18. I didn't know what a personal injury lawyer was or what they did, but I soon did. Tim was treated terribly by the insurance company, and I became enraged. It was a constant delay and deny. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Tim later worked with me for 27 years. Last year, my hero died at age 65. You can see my eulogy for him by visiting mybrothertim.com. He was one hell of a man. Because of Tim, together we built the largest injury firm in the world, and our clients are treated the way I would want my family to be treated. At Morgan & Morgan, nobody is a nobody and everybody is a somebody. If you need our help, visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer. See you soon, Tim. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. Today's National TV Dinner Day.
Ooh.
Is that even a thing anymore? Isn't every dinner a TV dinner these days? I don't know about you guys, but I'm usually watching TV when I'm eating dinner.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
I always look at it less as a activity and more as a type of
product.
Like a banquet meal or
like
something.
exactly a banquet meal, like a thing that's got a little dollop of taters and a Salisbury steak and a little brownie cooked into the plastic.
Yeah,
and,
no, I'm with you.
Ooh, kids cuisine.
Couple drops of sweet corn. That's exactly what
kids
I'm talking
cuisine.
about.
God almighty, I can't believe how many I bought when my kid was little.
Kids cuisine. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's basically like the Stouffer's kids meals.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a banquet meal for kids. It's got like 6 chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
And the little
corn,
the little plastic brownie,
All
and
right.
a little corn and a little mac and cheese,
And
and
there's
it's
a
just
penguin on it.
Yeah.
there's a penguin on it.
There's a penguin on it that made every kid want it.
Super cute.
I don't know how I missed that with 2 kids.
I don't know, but it would have been around Nick's time.
Okay.
They're still around.
Nick ate a lot of Lunchables. I made a lot of Lunchable pizzas.
Oh yeah,
He loved those.
Wait,
Did you cook them?
Yeah, you microwave them.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were supposed to do that. I thought you ate them cold.
Microwave them as well.
Yeah.
You can eat them cold. Like if it's for like a kid at the lunchroom or whatever, you can. I ate a
like
lot
if
of
your
them cold.
family's real poor, you can eat them cold.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Wash it down with a stick of butter. What'd you start to say, Rach?
I was going to ask, are Nick and Shannon the exact same age?
Pretty close.
Yeah, Nick will be 31 in January.
Oh yeah, he's a little older. Yeah, Shannon's 28.
Okay, that's cool though.
But, I mean, it's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Same generation of cartoons and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's a good thing Nick has a girlfriend because we could have united the clans.
That'd be dangerous,
wouldn't it?
Like the old school.
2 of us being the warlords.
Like the old school. Like that's how we forge our alliance.
Yeah.
Forcing our kids to marry each other.
Isn't that crazy that's like, it's not a story. That happened.
And
for
recently,
hundreds of years.
I think it still
it does. No, it does still happen in certain parts of the world. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there are lots of people still like arranged marriages for certain reasons.
It would take some pressure off.
It does take pressure off.
Yeah, but what if you hate
Makes
them?
a lot of stuff
right.
easier.
I mean, that's the risk you take, but it's all about like the strong family unit. Like you trust your family enough to pick a partner for you that's going to work. Like I think that's kind of
if
cool.
you were going in to meet your arranged husband, wife,
Okay.
would you be more worried that they were disappointed in you or more worried that you're going to be disappointed in them?
She's being humble.
Going into the arranged thing?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be totally focused on what I thought.
Yeah,
I don't know that person.
I would too. I don't think I would necessarily care.
Yeah.
I would grow to care what they thought about
See,
me.
and that's my
You'd
level
hope.
of insecurity.
Yeah.
'Cause I would be like, I hope they think I'm cute. I'd be looking for any look of disappointment
Am I
on
like
their
the
face.
prettiest girl you've had an arranged marriage with?
I would only feel that way
Am I
if
the
they've
hottest guy you've been forced to marry?
if they've shut down previous arranged marriages. Then I'd be like, "Ooh, I'm not gonna be better than whoever those guys were."
Yeah, that's just. I do get like why in the olden days you did that stuff because titles had to be passed down or your family loses the land or the money. Like, I mean, I understand it. It's still ridiculous. Like when you think about it on its face, like here, go spend the rest of your life with this person who you don't know.
Right, unless you think of marriage as a business transaction,
Which is what it was.
Yeah, and Greta Gerwig directed a version of Little Women that came out in, I think, 2018 or 2019
with Timothy
Chalamet. Florence Pugh plays Amy, and the way Greta Gerwig had Florence Pugh portray Amy in this film adaptation is so great that she does the little monologue about how it is a business decision for many women. Like, she doesn't have the luxury of caring about romance or love or anything like that.
Throw it to Michael in Studio A.
Let's do it. Take it over, Mike.
It is 1:54, and we are getting reports, confirmation from the Associated Press and others that there have been shots fired at an event involving conservative commentator Charlie Kirk at a university in the state of Utah, about 45 minutes outside of Salt Lake City in the town of Orem. This is Utah Valley University. Reports are that Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck. No word confirmed on his condition at this point, but high-profile conservative commentator Charlie Kirk at an event at a university in Utah has been shot, and we are getting more information, and we'll bring you the latest as soon as we can bring it to you, and we'll bring you a wrap-up coming up at 2.
Thank you, Michael.
Wow.
Well, I don't agree with anything he says, but I hope he's okay.
Yeah. No, we can't be shooting people.
Scary stuff.
No, I mean,
Very
can't happen to
terrifying.
anyone.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
there's video of it. It's not up close, but there's video of it.
Oh, no.
Well, this is his thing, right? He goes to universities and he debates people and puts himself out there.
No, he's definitely he's
a public figure for sure.
He's a younger guy, and I think he's trying to kind of trying to reach other younger people.
Dialogue.
Yeah.
That's too bad. I'll tell you guys about Michael's Baths. Great day to talk about him. I just had lunch with Mike today and his wonderful daughter, Melody, and Tony, who is the head of sales. And I just want to give you an example. I talked to you guys about how much less expensive they are than other companies that do bath remodeling. He told me about one bid they just had where the other company bid $24,000. And then did a bunch of malarkey and a bunch of if you get this discount and this discount, and they got it down to $16,000. Our price out the door was $8,400. So this is a little worse than typical, but it's very typical that we come in 30 to 50% less than the other guys. We never come in more than the other guys. It just doesn't happen. Mike brought in samples of some of the tile and the stuff they use on showers, and ours is thicker. It is just more meaty. It's just better quality. So the other guys are giving you cheaper products and charging you twice as much. Anyone out there, if you can hear my voice, I don't care if you're in Catawissa or Belleville or Litchfield or wherever, Michael's Baths will come out there. They'll give you a great bid, and they will give you great service on a brand new tub or a brand new shower or a whole new bathroom. 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts. Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
It's easy to feel apprehensive about getting screened for cancer or to just keep putting it off. But Siteman Cancer Center wants to remind you how important it is, especially after the age of 40. And they also want you to know how easy it is to get it done. GetScreenedNow.com has all the information you need on cancers like prostate, breast, colon, lung cancer. You can also find out your risk of disease by answering just a few simple questions. And then you can find one of the hundreds of screening locations in the area. Even if you're a little farther out, there is probably a place near you. You have heard this before, but catching cancer early dramatically increases the odds of a successful treatment, especially with so many cancers showing up earlier in life. So do not be intimidated. Siteman will make the process as simple as possible. GetScreenedNow.com. Do it for your family and friends who count on you. Do it for yourself. Visit GetScreenedNow.com.
Mid-America's most trusted voice for news. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 2 o'clock right now. Sunshine 86 downtown at the Arch. Breaking news. Conservative commentator Charlie Kirk has been shot. And let's take you to CBS News coverage right now.
Breaking news right now. Conservative political commentator Charlie Kirk has reportedly been shot, and this was during an event at Utah Valley University. That university is located in Orem, Utah. And Kirk was there as part of his American Comeback Tour. This was the first stop on a campus tour throughout the country. And a spokesperson for the university has told CBS News it is aware of the shooting and that police are investigating. They say a single shot was fired on campus during toward a visiting speaker, they say. Now, this is a story that we will continue to follow. We have a team of correspondents and reporters working on all of this. But just a little bit of background on Charlie Kirk, 31 years old, known as a very outspoken leader of the youth conservative movement. We have one of our colleagues, CBS News senior coordinating producer, Anna Schechter, joining us shortly. And I know that she's been following this case, but obviously Charlie Kirk is a Turning Point USA co-founder and the executive director today, conservative political activist, also the host of the Charlie Kirk Show, which is a very popular program known for his youth conservative movement. This tour, though, had sparked, we should point out, quite a bit of controversy. As we said, that this was the first stop, but there were petitions and there was quite a bit of outcry when it said that he was going to be coming to campus. Let me check in with our producers right now about some of the folks that we would be able to talk to about this. All right. Chanel Call is joining us here on set. Chanel, I know that this is just coming into the newsroom, but this is obviously something that is of grave concern when you hear about someone of this stature, who is so well known, potentially shot at a university event. What kind of information are you hearing right now?
Yeah, we're just seeing this come into our newsroom just a few moments ago, Nancy. So obviously a very tense, a very fluid situation on campus there this afternoon. This all happening at Utah Valley University. And again, we're just starting to learn what may have took place, but we know that the university is saying that at least one person was shot during that speaking event earlier today. I can also tell you that a source is telling CBS News the FBI is aware of reports and are responding to the scene of that reported shooting. We're seeing a bit of reaction come through online this hour. Utah Senator Mike Lee saying, I'm tracking the situation at Utah Valley University closely. Please join me in praying for Charlie Kirk and the students gathered there. Also, just a few moments ago.
This is a CBS News special report. I'm Maurice Dubois. Political violence in America this afternoon. Conservative political activist Charlie Kirk has been shot during an event at Utah Valley University. CBS News has learned a single shot was fired on campus toward Kirk. These are photos of him from prior events. We do not know the extent of Kirk's injuries. The University Alert says a suspect is in custody and police are investigating. Let's go to Justice correspondent Scott McFarland now. Scott, what are you learning?
This was a publicly advertised event by this conservative media icon, Charlie Kirk. It began at 2 p.m. on the East Coast, 12 p.m. local time in Utah. A public remarks, a public speech in front of a large crowd at Utah Valley University, an enormous school in central Utah. The FBI director, Kash Patel, has issued a statement saying, "We're closely monitoring reports of the tragic shooting involving Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University." And the governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, says, "I'm being briefed by law enforcement following the violence directed at Charlie Kirk during his visit to Utah Valley University today." The law enforcement presence there is likely to include the FBI, and Utah Valley University has a police force, so does the community of Orrin, Utah. But at this point, we're going to lean on what the FBI and governor are saying, that this is a violent act that involved Charlie Kirk. His remarks have ended as the violence broke out there in Orrin, Utah. Maurice.
Scott, best you can tell at this point, obviously very early in the investigation and the situation, but it appears single gunman, single shot. Is that correct?
Well, the videos that are coming in, which we are working with our CBS News team, confirmed team to verify, have sounds in them consistent with gunshots, but we're going to leave that until we get further confirmation of the videos coming in. This is a rally of sorts. Everybody there seemingly would have some phone. There's video, there's audio. In fact, to get into this event today, you had to acknowledge that the videos of you would be usable for Charlie Kirk and his team. This is a heavily photographed event, but we'll be cautious right now with the videos we see coming in voluminously from sources at the scene.
Okay, Scott McFarland, thank you. And it does not appear at this point that anyone else has been hurt, again, as best we can tell. We do have video that has come into our newsroom. This is the event in Utah. Kirk speaking. A shot is heard, and then we stop the video here before he is struck, and he falls out of sight. And the people who took this video scrambled to get away to some kind of safety. Obviously, a lot of panic, a lot of fear, and people trying to just get out of there once this shooting went down. Our senior White House and political correspondent, Ed O'Keefe. Ed, what are you learning this afternoon? And if not, what do you know? We can put some context into Charlie Kirk's status as a conservative political activist.
Yeah, let's do that first, Maurice, because I think there may be many people watching right now wondering, why would we interrupt to share this information? Charlie Kirk is a 31-year-old originally from the Chicago suburbs, an incredibly influential figure in conservative politics. Bottom line this for you, to give you a sense of how influential. He was meeting last fall during the presidential transition with President Trump to pick cabinet nominees. He's a close friend of Donald Trump Jr., who was among those pushing the now president to pick J.D. Vance as his running mate. He flew with the vice president to Greenland when the administration was making that an issue earlier this year. And he's someone who has helped rally tens of thousands, if not millions, of younger conservative voters in this country to the Republican cause. This gathering that was being held here at the university in Utah includes what's called a prove me wrong table, where he sits there, as you see in this video, and in essence tries to debate issues with people who disagree with him. It's become a popular production or a popular element of his social media work. And part of what draws younger people to these events is to watch him sort of refute or push back on issues or topics that he may have a disagreement with the person, but all meant to spark conversation and make people think. This is video, as we understand it, that was shot earlier today at the beginning of this event, and this was the kickoff for it. Now, there was reporting in recent days in Utah about concern among students at this university about having Kirk hold this event on the campus for what he calls the American Comeback Tour. This was to be the first stop in that tour, where reportedly thousands of students had signed a petition requesting that they bar Kirk from holding this event. And he spoke about it with the Utah Republican Senator Mike Lee on Kirk's podcast last week, where they said, find it interesting that there's such opposition, but Lee encouraged him to go. So he's a controversial figure to those not in the conservative movement who disagree strongly with his views and those of President Trump, but an incredibly popular and essential figure in the Trump movement in recent years, and someone who virtually all Republican leaders would point to as someone who has brought new support, especially among younger male voters, to the Trump campaign and continue to back that coalition, Maurice.
Yeah, Ed, and speaking of which, Charlie Kirk, 31 years old. President Trump responding and reacting on social media. Here are his words. We must all pray for Charlie Kirk, who has been shot. A great guy from top to bottom, the president says. God bless him. Ed, when you go to a Charlie Kirk event, I don't know if you have, we're talking about thousands of people, like a rock star.
Yes, and this was, again, the start of what he calls the American Comeback Tour, was designed to draw thousands of young people to the event, as you see here, again, in this footage that we understand is from earlier today as it was beginning. He is very popular with younger men in this country, with college-aged voters, college-aged people, because of the popularity of his podcast and his other social media work. Turning Point USA is considered the largest conservative youth movement in this country, holds conferences on a fairly regular basis that draw all the top names in Republican politics, be it the president, the vice president, on down, those that would like to be president one day. Understand they have to be cultivating this organization in order to expect future support. So there will be widespread concern and acclaim for his work among Republican leadership up and down a ballot, and grave concern across the country among those who are supporters of the president and others in the conservative movement, because they understand that he has been such a rock star, a galvanizing force, someone who's brought people together. Maurice, we should also convey the president now speaking out here on Truth Social. Some of our colleagues were up in the West Wing when this news broke out across social media, and White House officials learned of it just as we did, in essence, and headed into closed-door meetings to sort out how exactly to respond. But all of those people, to give you a sense of his influence, know him, would have worked with him, and very well may be in the jobs they're in today, Maurice, because Kirk at one point or another would have said to Donald Trump, that's someone worthy of continuing to work alongside you at the White House.
Yeah, Ed, to call him hugely influential would be really understating the situation. Let's take a look at the video here one more time. You saw Kirk there.
Is Maurice Dubois of CBS News. That is a network-wide CBS News special report on the breaking situation at Utah Valley University. Conservative political commentator Charlie Kirk has been shot at a large event in the middle of what looks like kind of a quad area of the university campus there in Utah, about 45 minutes from Salt Lake City. Charlie Kirk's condition is not known at this time. We'll continue to monitor this, and of course CBS News will come back if there is any new development with this story. Sunshine today 90, clear sky tonight 66. For tomorrow, sunshine, high 92. Right now 85 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Serving the Metro East region with excellence, Anderson Hospital is proud to be named one of Newsweek's World's Best Hospitals for 2025. Experience world-class care close to home. AndersonHospital.org.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DJS 212. So you can imagine being in my situation or our situation on the air and something like this happens. About all you can do is give you updates and kind of state the obvious, which is in America, and this is, I'm not blaming this on Trump. I'm not blaming this on the right. I'm not blaming it on anyone other than the person who pulled the trigger in Utah and just shot Charlie Kirk in the neck. That's the person responsible. But we need grown-ups to be grown-ups. We need leaders to be leaders. And we need to lower the temperature overall in this country. And we need to get back or get to the point where the ancient Greeks were thousands of years ago, where you settle your differences and you best your opponent with words and logic. And in the absence of that, that's when you punch them, because you don't have the words and logic. You don't have the emotional intelligence and the brain power to defeat someone with your words and logic. And that is my biggest worry I hope Charlie Kirk is okay. I hope it's superficial or at least doesn't lead to the young man dying. I don't agree with anything he says. We're on opposite ends of the political spectrum. I will say this, that I have always respected the fact that he goes out into crowds of young people and takes every question and debates every person. That is laudable. That is what you should do, to take people on with words and logic. And in the absence of that, that's when you see people doing things like this. Now, the person who pulled the trigger probably is some sort of crazy person. You have to be to do something like this. It is horrific that it happened in front of hundreds or thousands of 18 to 22-year-olds. That's, life-changing and scarring for the rest of your life. But yeah, about all I can do is add my words to the obvious, which is this is not what you do ever, and it's certainly not what you do in America. Thoughts?
Totally agree. We're not supposed to. We don't settle things this way in civilized countries. It doesn't matter whether you agree or disagree with the person that is doing the shooting or the one being shot. That none of that matters. It's just not how you do it. We're not about summary execution. We're not about shooting people we disagree with. And what's fascinating, though, and again, we have to understand that the majority of Americans are not actually on social media, right? I think it's something like 20%. So 1 in 5 people are on things like Twitter or whatever. But even this early, the reactions are inflammatory. It's nonstop. It's us against them. And it's not this guy shot Charlie Kirk. It's they shot him. And we've been doing this over and over and over again, blaming a group of people, again, regardless of which side you want to point a finger at, rather than blaming the person that did the thing.
I'm going to say something that might be taken controversially. You guys might disagree. Please tell me if you do. I would push back a little bit, and I would say the real problem is that this is actually what we do here. This would to say we don't handle things like this. This is not what we do here in America. This is actually what we do here in America. This is the only country where this sort of thing happens all of the time on a weekly basis, to the point where you have to in your head, you have to, when you read about a school shooting, you have to you have to care about how many people were shot to know how much attention you have to give it in your brain. These things don't happen in other places, but they do happen here. This is what happens here in America. And that, I think, is the core problem. And we were sort of talking on the break about how it's escalation on top of escalation. Violence gets answered by violence, gets answered by violence, gets answered by more rhetoric, gets answered by heavier rhetoric, gets answered by just more and more tensions, more and more bottling up, more and more people just getting madder and madder about whatever, from whatever political source or whatever side. We've seen a lot of times these shooters are even just apolitical. They don't even know what they believe. They're just mad and freaking out, and they have these, mental illnesses or whatever that are causing them to react like this. And it is what we do here. And it's really, really, I just don't feel like we can pretend that it's not anymore. I don't feel like we can pretend that we're better.
Because these are two different things. We are a violent country. We are not a politically violent country historically or even in recent times. And it's been we have it happen, but it's the rare occasion when political violence pops up. The other violence is daily, whether it's a school shooting or it's a gang shooting or it's a domestic shooting, murder, suicide. You're totally right about all that. They're different things.
I don't draw a big line between a school child and a political commentator getting shot. I don't draw a big line between those things.
There's, in one sense, there's no line. In another
we
sense,
had the president attempted
Andrew,
assassinated last year. How can you say we don't have political violence?
That's the point. This is not how you settle things in politics. It's not how you should settle things anywhere.
It
in
shouldn't
any way.
be.
Andrew,
it shouldn't be.
Andrew, 2 examples in 20 years is not saying we do this. It's actually the proof that we don't. We don't have regular political violence in the United States. It has ramped up, which is what we're all talking about, because we do nothing. Nobody pushes the brake. It's all gas, no brakes in politics right now. And the problem with this, as opposed to more random acts of violence or even specific acts of violence, I don't like you, I shoot you. The difference when it becomes political is that it's pitting half the country against the other half of the country. It's pitting people that are not even willing participants in it. It's not about a value of the victim or a devaluation of the crime. It's just a much broader risk when you're going to have it become political, because what you're by nature doing is splitting the country in half and making each group of people think the other side wants to shoot them.
I think we have had plenty of political assassinations in this country and an actual nationwide civil war. And I don't think
that was 200 years ago.
But it happened. We are supposed to be
times.
We are supposed to be. The country's only like 200 years old, man. We are supposed to be
Andrew,
the first world country. We are supposed to be the number one country in the world.
You cannot compare 1870 to 2025. They're not the same world.
I don't even really understand what you are arguing right now. Charlie Kirk was just shot in the neck, man. What are you arguing about how there's not political violence?
Andrew, that's not the point. When Dave and I said this is not how we do it, that means this is not how you're supposed to do it. It shouldn't take a translation to figure that out.
I don't think you can argue that when Charlie Kirk was just shot,
Andrew,
in the neck, Kevin.
Brother, you got to listen.
I'm listening to you. I'm not agreeing with you.
What we're talking about is whether or not it should be the way it's done. When we say we don't do things that way, it's that we shouldn't.
You didn't say shouldn't. You said we don't.
Dude, you got to figure context out, brother.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now, to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
So tell you guys about our friends over at Lombardo Homes. So I just turned 61 over the weekend. I am nowhere near even like an independent living kind of place, but I am definitely not near. I'm at being overdoing yard work and this kind of work and that kind of work. The towns of Lindeman Park, new townhomes by Lombardo located in St. Peter's. New construction homes located on the south side of 364 and 94 east of Harvester. Open floor plans, lots of choices on how many bedrooms you want and how many baths and things like that. Tons of amenities, just none of the amenities that you have to take care of.
Yeah, we encourage you to go check out the newly decorated display and fall in love with what could be your new townhome. Now, maybe what Dave just described does not describe where you are in life. Lombardo has a ton of options for you. They even have a build on your lot program called Anywhere Lombardo. Check it out. Go to lombardohomes.com for more information.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
This is Justin Brown with Krenz Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. Is your financial advisor proactive or reactive? If your strategy or service feels stagnant or misaligned, it may be time for a change. Our defined, proactive approach to investments and communication keeps you informed and prepared for what's ahead. Let's talk about what makes us different and how a more engaged advisor can help you reach your goals. Your goals, our mission. Start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, member FINRA/SIPC. Prince Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
Total Information AM. Weekdays 5 to 9 on the voice of St. Louis. 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Not to be whatever, but this is one of the reasons why we do this on KMOX. We jack around, we have fun, we laugh, we cross swords. But on days like this, when something big happens, we're here to cover it and to give our analysis, right or wrong. Charlie Kirk, the right-wing political activist pundit, has been shot at a university in Utah. It was all caught on film by about 1,000 different phone cameras. And Wheels just showed us one view that is really, really bad, where you see a huge amount of blood come out the other side of this guy's neck. And I'm worried this is going to be bad. I mean, it looks bad. So
Hope not. You hope somebody got to him pretty quickly. Yeah. But the up close video, I mean, don't seek it out if you're not good with those types of things. And obviously, it's good because it's going to be on making the rounds on social media. You'll see it inadvertently. Just be aware that anything related to that can be disturbing if you're not ready for it.
Well, and that's the thing. When things like this happen, when violence unfolds and it is caught on cell phone camera and then is uploaded to the internet, it ends up traumatizing even more people who were like present for the event. That's something I don't think we talk about enough, is like these footage like that will get played on the news over and over again without warning. And just, I don't know, the effects of these selfish actions that come from a gunman like this, you're not just hurting the one person, you're hurting millions of people, actually. I mean, I hope that's not like a...
No. You are affecting what Andrew and Wheels were debating, which is every act like this is a brick in the wall of being a violent country.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I can't stress this enough. And I also, going back to Rachel's initial point when we were talking about politics in the 1 o'clock, of feeling so emasculated, and there's nothing you can do when people are doing these things politically that you don't like. And there's just, but we have to know that, we have to accept that, and we have to fight against our darker urges to do something outside of words and logic. Because that's probably, in addition to mental health, why this person who just shot Charlie Kirk thinks he shot Charlie Kirk, is because, well, there's nothing else I can do. And from the way our leaders lead, from the way our leaders speak, the way we treat each other, the things we say on social media, it's not just platitudes. It's not just, empty. It's not just, prayer, thoughts and prayers. It's we have to do better we just have to do better. Yeah.
Yeah. I to that point, Andrew's 100% right, in the sense that too much of how we do things is that way, is violent. for whatever the reasons are. Sometimes it's political, sometimes it's not. But now it's bleeding over, but it's that constant ramping up that's going to make it worse if we don't cut it off.
St. Louis, meet your new favorite way to start the day. The Chris and Amy Show. It's not the same old talk. It's fresh, it's different, and it's local. Chris and Amy dig into the news that matters, but they also keep it light, keep it fun, and keep you smiling. Serious when it needs to be, silly when it can be. That's pure entertainment with a local heartbeat. The Chris and Amy Show, weekdays at 9 on the Voice of St. Louis, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. We are visiting with Dr. Premal Thacker.
And we're very fortunate at Washington University School of Medicine and Siteman to have the only endometrial cancer spore. So we are actually doing a $15 million grant that is housed here under Dr. Much to actually evaluate uterine cancer.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, please visit siteman.wustl.edu.
Dave Murray's forecast is sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company, pennmutual.com/STL.
Temperature should peak out at about 90 degrees this afternoon. That's about 10 degrees warmer than yesterday. Tons of sunshine. Tonight, clear skies. Sunset getting earlier and earlier. The evening will be quite enjoyable around town. 66 for the low. Evening temperatures dropping through the 80s. Thursday, sunny skies. Nice morning, but bring it up to 92 in the afternoon. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that's our hottest stretch, though no record heat. But we're going to feel it. It's going to be a bit of a jolt to the system. Sunny skies, 95, 96 Friday, Saturday, and again on Sunday. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Are you considering life insurance? Penn Mutual's accelerated client experience makes applying for life insurance fast and easy. Ask your independent advisor or go to pennmutual.com/STL.
When we started Neovitin back in 2009, we wanted to create a multivitamin that we would take ourselves. That's why we use quality ingredients in our Neovitin Original Formula multivitamin. With over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our physician-formulated proprietary blend, you can be sure you are getting the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovitin Original Formula multivitamin a try for yourself. Find it at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
Yesterday, I was telling you guys about the Schnucks branded ice cream. It kind of came up organically on the show, and then I got to thinking about, my favorite flavors. But really, I'm just kind of in the mindset of if there is a Schnucks branded item, if you are looking for an item and you notice a Schnucks brand, please trust me, try the Schnucks brand. You are going to like it. I truly believe these Schnucks branded items meet or beat those big national brands when it comes to taste and quality. Plus, you are going to save money while you shop the Schnucks brand. I've never picked up the Schnucks brand and been like, man, I wish I wouldn't have got this. I've always been pleased with it. So just keep that in mind. Even if you're just getting like flour and sugar to bake some cookies or something, try the Schnucks brand. It's worth it. And while you're shopping, make sure you use your Schnucks Rewards app. Speaking of saving money, this is like the ultimate money saving tool when you're shopping at Schnucks. You get 2% cash back on every single thing you purchase, plus tons of other digital offers and coupons when you use the Schnucks Rewards app.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making Genesis of St. Charles the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2025. We know your time is valuable. That's why every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet within 125 miles. We're closer than you think. That means complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. Or want something new? We'll bring the test drive to you. Visit genesisofstcharles.com today. Based on GMA sales records for 2024. See dealer for details.
Celebrate the month of September with Zero Res and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129. Take $75 off your air duct cleaning as well. Book online at ZeroResSTL.com and take advantage of these huge savings. Spell it forward, spell it backwards, always spells the same. Zero Res.
Today, the Cards, the Mariners.
Hamlin Total Access, 745.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Happy Wednesday to you. We're covering this story about Charlie Kirk. We'll be covering it until 5 p.m. And as long as it takes to get more information, as we do, we'll let you know. And if Michael Calhoun needs to break in at any time, just know that it doesn't matter what we're doing. Michael's the boss, and he'll say he needs to go on air, and we'll put him on air. Until then, we're going to go ahead with the show as we normally do and have our guests on. And right now, we're going to try and do a little bit of good. We have Deanna Rosique in, and we have Debbie Schultz. Debbie is a Bennett Project board member, and Deanna's daughter Everly is fighting leukemia. It's nice to meet both of you.
Thank you for having us on.
Let me start with you, Deanna. Just introduce yourself and tell us your story.
Sure. My name's Deanna. My daughter was diagnosed at 3 years old with leukemia. She's been in treatment at Cardinal Glennon since then. So we spent all of December 2023 and into January in treatment at the hospital. She's gone through treatment so far and is doing pretty well. She just got cleared to go to pre-K. So she's got that. And she'll be hopefully through treatment in the spring of 2026.
How did it manifest? How did it present?
Yeah, so she had like back-to-back ear infections, trouble with sleep. We went to pediatrician multiple times. They checked her iron levels, and that kind of was funky. And they said, we'll try to keep her iron up, come back in 3 months, and we'll check levels again. After a couple weeks, we noticed lymph nodes. We're like, nope, we need to do a blood. We need to check now versus waiting. And fought them a little bit on it. The next day, got a call, said pack a bag and plan to be at Glennon for a bit. And we were there for like a month and a half.
Good parenting.
Yeah.
So anything that we ask you that's too personal or too painful, you tell us to shut the F up. But what is that? It's every parent's nightmare, literally.
Yeah.
What was that evolution like from suspicion to fear to, we're facing this?
Yeah, it almost just alters your brain chemistry. I mean, I have life before cancer and life after cancer. And everything, it's just a season of hard, and it's getting through the hard. And we have our family who's very close by, which is great. Being close to the St. Louis hospitals is a blessing that we just kind of take advantage of. So many families don't have that. And just leaning into our family, and our church has been really supportive as well. And obviously organizations like Bennett Project has been such an outlet just to connect with other families that are walking through it is vital.
How's Everly? Does she understand?
No, she doesn't. So we kind of have that going for us because she was 3 when she was diagnosed. Like, I don't think that she doesn't realize that she missed out on so much, and we had to isolate for a year. So she didn't get to start pre-K when she should have, but she also didn't miss out on, 3rd grade, 4th grade. She's, that's not everyone's experience. So she doesn't really realize that she's got this going on and that it's different from what other kids are experiencing. And we've kind of sheltered her as much as we can. I mean, obviously appointments are still brutal. There's no way to diminish that, but I don't think that she's really realized how different her life is.
How's Cardinal Glennon?
Great. Yeah, we've had a really good experience at Glennon from the doctors, the nurses, they have the Costas Center Bob Costas, I think, donated a decent amount to have that. And that center has been awesome. We do all of her appointments there, all of her labs. So we're on the east side. So we make the trip over across the river. Right now, she's only going once a month. So we were going 3 to 4 times a week. So, but Cardinal Glennon has been great.
Debbie, tell us about Bennett Project.
So the Bennett Project is a fully volunteer run, not-for-profit, and we serve families who are in treatment in the St. Louis area at any of the 3 pediatric oncology centers. We believe really strongly that no one understands the journey like someone who has walked it. And so we have a really strong focus on connecting our families to each other. We do a lot of social events, and so we bring our families together. We also have a private Facebook group where families can connect with one another, ask questions, get information from other families, so that we can support one another through what is hopefully the worst time of their life that's only going to get better.
Yeah. And what's your connection? How did you get involved?
So I got involved with the Bennett Project in 2019. Shortly after it got started, my nephew was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And when we were done with the first round of treatment, his first battle, I looked for a way to give back. I needed some way to process and figure out like this experience we had been through. And the Bennett Project was a really small grassroots organization. And I thought I can make a difference here. We are on battle number 5 with my nephew, Drew. And it's the families that we've met through the Bennett Project that are the ones who are there for us every day. And so being able to give back to other families like ours has been huge. Our kids' friends are the kids from the Bennett Project, right? My nephew and his little brother, like that's where they feel the most comfortable because those families understand their journey too.
Yeah. You have a fundraiser coming up in a few weeks.
We do. So we are going to be launching our online silent auction in early October. So we'll have baskets and gift certificates from companies all around the city. We try to cover a good range of the city in our program, so we get support from everywhere. And we'll be launching that on our website probably the second week of October is what we're looking at. And shortly after, we do a very large toy drive. So we will have 50 to 60 toy drive locations across the metro on the Illinois side, all the way out in West County, kind of everywhere we go. And we use those toys for our big holiday event. We bring our families in to shop for gifts free of charge. And then we also use them to supply the local oncology centers throughout the year.
Yeah. We have a lot of people listening right now. What kind of things can you guys use for silent auctions or otherwise?
Yeah. So for the auction, we really look for anything like fun baskets, tickets, gift cards. We're really kind of open to anything. It's been a really lovely thing to see the community rise and help these families through the darkness. And so we're really kind of open to any kind of cool things for folks. We can be reached through our website, which is thebennettproject.org, 2 N's, 2 T's. And we are so grateful for the community support that we get.
Yeah, we'll get you something. What advice would you have for parents who are going through this or for parents who will go through this?
Just to get connected, whether that's through your local hospital, Child Life, and the social workers can help, but also just get plugged in. Once you, obviously, depending on ability, and I think you reach out with multiple events that we just had to say, like, nope, it's still too dangerous for us to be out there just yet and have her out with other kids. We had to keep her pretty safe. But once you're able to, just get connected, get plugged in. Even if it's not in-person events, there's so many. I mean, just the Facebook group alone has been a wealth of knowledge. So yeah, just get connected with other families.
Well, we will hook you up with a really great prize for your online auction. All the best, Everly. All the best to your nephew.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. With thousands of 5-star reviews, you can trust us to bring happiness home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
It's 2:42. Michael Calhoun in the KMOX newsroom with breaking news regarding thousands of St. Louis workers. A highly placed source is telling KMOX that Boeing and union machinists have come to a tentative deal. They'll vote on a new contract this Friday morning, and we'll have the details for you coming up at 3 o'clock. But great news for thousands of Boeing workers in the St. Louis area. It is a tentative deal, and we'll have the details at the top of the hour.
Fairwinds River's Edge is more than a place to live, it's a place to belong. Come see why we have been voted Best Independent Senior Living Community for 4 years in a row by U.S. News & World Report. We think you'll like it here, and the experts agree. Come see us for yourself. Call to schedule a tour with lunch or to RSVP for our senior prom on September 24th with live entertainment by the Backstreet Cruisers. Find us online at fairwindsriversedge.com.
The KMOX City SC Soccer Showcase presented by Michelob Ultra is back.
Next stop, Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill in Arnold, Thursday, September 18th. A limited number of fans can get an autographed picture from City SC player Timo Bungartle. Win great prizes, enjoy great food, and a cold drink. Hot Shots in Arnold is the place to be Thursday, September 18th from 6 till 8 p.m. for the City SC Soccer Showcase, presented by Michelob Ultra. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-201-7676, 800-201-7676, 800-201-7676.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
At Tax Relief Advocates, we get it. Thinking about back taxes to the IRS can be very unsettling. Don't lose hope. With thousands of 5-star Google reviews and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, TRA is resolving taxpayers' delinquent tax problems nationwide once and for all. We could significantly reduce and even eliminate what you owe the IRS. If you haven't filed your taxes in years or are already facing collections, we can help. We aren't just some run-of-the-mill tax service company. We specialize in helping individuals and businesses with $10,000, $50,000, or even $500,000 in back taxes get speedy resolution. And in many cases, only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. The IRS isn't going anywhere, and neither is your tax problem. To see what tax relief you qualify for, visit TRA.com or call 800-335-8578. 800-335-8578. Again, that's 800-335-8578. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. Happy Wednesday to you. My very dear friend Tamara Keefe is here from Clementines. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You look more beautiful than last time I saw you.
He's so nice.
Yeah, sucking up. You do, though. You look fantastic. You look happy.
I don't have to suck up with you.
Okay, good. We're just on that level.
We're just on that level.
So things are great?
Things are really good. Really good. Exciting times. We open in Kansas City next week.
Good.
So that's happening. And then we're opening in Bentonville in October.
Yeah.
So things are busy. We're making ice cream, going into new markets. It's exciting.
Is it to the point now nationally that you no longer have to introduce yourself? Like people, they hear Clementines, they kind of know?
No, I mean, it depends. Like if you're in the foodie world and ice cream and culinary, you probably know who Clementines is. But, when we go into new markets and new cities, right, we have to do that education. And I say, we win one scoop at a time. I just have to get it in their mouth.
There you go. Yeah. What's your I've been saying that for years. What's your big sell? Like if you had an elevator pitch, what is it about your ice cream that you want to tell someone in an elevator?
We're one of only a handful of micro creameries in the country, and we literally make the best ice cream in the United States of America, and we win all of the awards. And you should try it, right?
Mm-hmm.
No one makes ice cream like we do. We have the boozy, the naughty ice creams. And we were the first ice cream company in the country, actually, to make a non-dairy vegan ice cream at mass.
Yeah.
Right. To make non-dairy actually taste like ice
Which
cream.
is really good. Yeah.
Which is really, really amazing and really important for people who can't have dairy but deserve to have ice cream in their life.
I think you have, it's all going to be dirty. I think you have a special tongue. Do you think you have a special tongue? Like
That's what he says.
You come up with these.
Yeah, I'm actually a master taster. I didn't know if you knew
I did
that.
not know
Like
that.
I am culinary and sensory science trained. So I
you
do.
literally do.
I literally do. I was trained to be a master taster. And so it really is important to get the flavors right, to get the consistency, the texture, the aftertaste,
Yeah.
the sophistication of how a flavor builds when it's on your tongue and in your mouth. That's like really important. And to make sure that that flavor and the butterfat, which carries that flavor in your mouth, like carries it all the way there.
Yeah. Can you imagine people from like 50 years ago tasting this? Or would it be closer to what they did?
You know, it was probably closer to the is like the way that our grandparents used to make ice cream. It's all natural. It's clean label. It doesn't have all the artificial garbage in it the way that most ice creams today do.
And you guys are always doing something fun and different. And you have embraced cryptids, which I love.
We have.
I mean, I've been into this for 25 years and Paranormal Tuesday and the Halloween show and Bigfoot and the whole thing.
Absolutely.
And as you have learned, a huge amount of people are.
I had no idea how many people were into cryptids.
Yeah.
And so when somebody on the team said, we need to come out with like a cryptids line, I was like, a what? And so then I got into it and I was like, oh, this is fun. I'm going to have a good time making flavors for this, for sure.
Yeah. How do you, I mean, $64,000 question, but how do you do it? Like once you have an idea and it's like past the idea stage, how do you do it? Do you just like sit down, make notes, just grab a bunch of ingredients and go to town?
Sometimes it's really about like doing the research and like, okay, like for, one of the cryptids, like, okay, for Bigfoot, right? Like what would, if I was a flavor as Bigfoot, like what would I be, right? So you think of like the forest and I thought, oh, it's got to be chocolate in the forest. And then you have to have the almonds. Like it just kind of comes to you when you start researching an idea for a flavor. It's like, okay, I want to try this and I want to try that. And you just kind of figure out what like resonates, right? Or doing Mothman, right? Like it had to be black, right? So I had to come up with a flavor where I could use the activated charcoal and I could use what was at my fingertips to make a really cool black ice cream that would resonate.
Yeah.
So,
which doesn't sound easy.
It's not. It takes time. I thankfully have an R&D chef who helps me now because I don't have the time like I used to have because I'm running the business and growing and expanding it. But it's actually still like the best part of my job is the creative part.
Right.
Because I don't get to do it a lot. So I kind of try to like still insert myself where I can. And
what is your go-to? What does Tamara grab when you're going to eat clementines? And then what flavor are you most proud of over the years?
Oh my gosh.
Like you really nailed it.
Well, for sure, gooey butter cake ice cream, right? Like I made it famous. I invented it. Like all my national competitors all try to make their version of it, which all stinks compared to ours. So I'm actually really proud of that because I was able to take something that was so St. Louis and blow it up on a national scale. And now if you go to like Podunk, Idaho, into an ice cream shop, like that ice cream shop follower has been following me and has made their own version of that gooey butter cake. And so I think that's cool. I'm really proud of that because so many cool, great things happen in St. Louis. And if I can put St. Louis on the map in the culinary world and, spread the gooey butter cake wonderfulness across the country, like I think that's pretty darn cool.
Well, you and Katie are now two of our biggest ambassadors. I mean, you really are. I mean, you guys are out there killing it.
We're trying.
Yeah.
And we love each other too. So
good. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
We're
great.
friends. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Just personally, what has this journey been like? Because I don't know where you were before this, but now I know you're very successful. And just what's that like? Just as a life experience.
It's amazing, right? Because I was that mid-career changer, right? Like I was 38 when I decided to leave my corporate life of 20 years and start Clementines and literally bet the farm, like bet everything on it. And I think it was very exciting for me then, right? To be like doing something so crazy and like totally just following my passion. And I think, you know, I always said, like, in my early years, it was very much about me, right? Like what I was doing, my parlors, my ice cream, it was very me. And I think that somewhere along the way, maybe like parlor 3 or 4, it changed. So, you know, I'm still the face of Clementines, but Clementines is not about me anymore. It really is about my team. It's about what we're doing in St. Louis. It's about the 238 families that are supported every time you come into a Clementines. Like, it just has, my journey has changed so much that it's okay. I'm more motivated to grow this thing for the opportunities we can provide people by doing that. And by elevating like a cool, great thing that is going on in St. Louis. Like, I think we hear enough about like the bad things in St. Louis, but I don't think we talk enough about the really good things that happen in St. Louis. And if Clementines can be one of those really, really good things that people continue to talk about, then I think I'm kind of doing my job, right? Like, I think that's really important. I think it's funny because I'm not from St. Louis. And so when I came to St. Louis kind of kicking and screaming, I really literally say within 6 months, I found my one true love, and that's the city of St. Louis. St. Louis is this incredible, incredible city that's so vibrant, so many neighborhoods. I just wish the people who were from here knew what a great city St. Louis was.
You're so right.
So people from the outside can see it, but not always the people who are born and raised here see it. And that's really unfortunate because sometimes we're our own worst critic. And we really just like, I mean, I'll tell you from an outsider's perspective, I've never seen a city in the country who spends their tax dollars at work. Our zoo is free. The Science Center is free. The Muni, you know, has 1,500 seats in perpetuity that's free. We have the the second best opera company in the country. Our art scene is amazing. Our parks are amazing. Our program around the city, and it's all free. The cost of living in St. Louis is really incredible. I mean, you can have your family and like be busy every single night in the summer for free and do something around this town. Like, I just think St. Louis has so much going for it. It's really powerful. It's really incredible.
Keep doing it. We love you. We're really proud of you.
Thank you.
Really are. It's great.
Thank you.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You've got a ton of equity in your home. You're sitting on a gold mine, and you could do so much with all that cash, like travel, invest it, or pay off debt, but you can't touch it unless you sell your home. But you really don't want to move. And besides, homes are sitting on the market for a long time these days. You're trapped, right? Well, not with Truehold. With Truehold, you can cash out your equity in as little as 30 days. And listen, you don't have to move. You can stay in the home you love as a renter. So that's Truehold's Sell and Stay program. You cash out your entire home's value and stay put. Truehold even covers property taxes, property insurance, and essential repairs. So imagine using that equity to travel, invest, or pay off debt and stay in your home. It's brilliant, especially in this slow market. You get an all-cash offer now by calling 1-855-300-9993. You can also visit Truehold.com, the smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well,
I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
So you're thinking, great boat, 60 grand, but hey, we can have fun on the water. She's thinking, what, 3, maybe 4 months a year if we're lucky? You're thinking tow ropes and wakeboards. She's thinking granite countertops and undermount sinks. You're back to thinking about summers. But she's thinking about all year, every day, rain or shine. And she's also thinking 3 days and about half the cost. That's right, 3 days and half the cost. Your kitchen or bath can have a completely new look in just 3 days or less. Guaranteed. Top quality products and craftsmanship, 100% satisfaction guaranteed. And you and your family will enjoy it all year, day in and day out, with no tow ropes needed. Now, what are you thinking? Find out more about how your kitchen or bath can be the kitchen or bath of your dreams in just 3 days. Just visit 3daykitchen.com. That's 3daykitchen.com.
3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 3 o'clock, we've got sunshine. It is right now 87 degrees downtown at the Arch.
CBS News special report. Conservative activist and Turning Points USA co-founder Charlie Kirk has been shot at an outdoor event at Utah Valley University. Turning Point USA, the conservative group that he co-founded, tells CBS News he was shot in the neck. He's at the hospital. It does not look good. It happened as Kirk was speaking in front of a huge crowd as part of his tour. Raydon Desheen was there and says they did not need to go through security.
There was none. It was like, so when you walked in there, it was like a kind of in the crevice of the buildings with a bridge across it. And then behind it was like a grassy open area with a little bit of sitting that's kind of in a stadium seating.
CBS News has learned that a suspect is in custody, and this witness says they saw that person being arrested.
Yeah, the man who, after they took him down, he yelled, "I'd do it again."
Today was Kirk's first tour date of his Turning Point USA's The American Comeback Tour. CBS News special report. I'm Matt Piper.
Also breaking, at least 2 students have been wounded in a shooting at a high school in the Denver, Colorado metro area at Evergreen High School. It is still an active scene. Authorities asked those with students at the school not to go directly to the building at this time. A teacher told CBS News Colorado that they are on lockdown with some students inside a room in the school. We've got more breaking news, a tentative deal to bring Boeing machinists back to work. Let's go live to the newsroom for the latest on this from Maria Kina. Maria, what do we know about the deal?
More than 5 million followers on X and more.
We'll vote on this new contract this Friday morning at St. Louis Music Park. Now, according to our source, the new contract added an additional year to the contract with a 4% raise for that 5th year. The ratification bonus has been reinstated, but it has been reduced from $5,000 to $4,000. Now, at 3:30 this afternoon, Boeing has called a press conference, and our Sean Malone will be covering that live throughout the afternoon. Michael?
The Missouri Senate begins its work today to change congressional districts, bringing thousands of protesters to the state capitol, mostly to oppose the plan. One is Tilly Moreland of Central Missouri's Lynn Creek.
I don't want Trump to kind of mess up with the voting system, you know, and I support the Democrats. I'm a Democrat, and I want them to hear our voice, basically.
On social media, President Trump urges Senate Republicans to pass Governor Kehoe's proposal as is. From the KMOX Business Desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. Pickup sales are like a rock. Good news for Wentzville.
Despite the Trump tariffs on imported vehicles, Americans are still buying a ton of gas-powered pickups coming into the U.S. General Motors now pausing plans to eliminate a shift at its Chevy Silverado pickup truck plant in Canada, keeping hundreds of workers on the job there at least through the end of January. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Let's get an update of the St. Louis Business Index with Stifel's Kevin Monton.
Thanks, Michael. The markets were mostly mixed today on muted PPI numbers, with the Dow losing 220 at 45,490. S&P was positive 19 at 6532. NASDAQ lost 5 at 21,873. And the Bloomberg Single Index was up 7 at 1633. Stocks to the upside, Caleres gained 2.1% at 1558. And Emerson was positive 1.2% at 133.67. To the downside, Boeing lost 0.8% at 227.52, and Post Holdings was off 1% at 104.73. Finally, Stifel up 0.5% at 113.14. This has been Kevin Monton, Senior Vice President of Investments at Stifel, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. For more information on Stifel, please visit our website at stifel.com.
We've got a crash on 141 going north at St. Charles Rock Road. That's got the left lane and the left shoulder closed there.
Plenty of sunshine on this Wednesday afternoon, and you can feel it out there. Temperatures about 10 degrees warmer than yesterday, but still okay. Humidity level's still okay. 80s to near 90 degrees. Tonight, a delightful evening once that sun goes down as our days continue to get shorter and shorter. Clear skies, 66 for the overnight low. Good-looking moon once we get to about 10 o'clock or so. Then on Thursday, sunny skies bring it up to about 92, 67 Thursday night. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that's the hottest stretch, though. No record. Sunny skies all 3 days. High temperatures 95, 96 degrees. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Sponsored by Chesterfield Fence and Deck, your premier provider of fences, decks, patios, sunrooms, and more. Call them for a free estimate today. Now offering 48 months interest-free financing on your next outdoor project. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, chesterfieldfence.com. We've got 87 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Very, very strange day. Very strange day on the show. If you are just hearing this, if you're just getting out of a meeting or something, right-wing political commentator Charlie Kirk has been shot at an event. It was the first stop on his tour where he goes to college campuses and he debates students, called the Prove Me Wrong, and the comeback tour. I'm not sure what that means, but he was shot in the neck. And it's fully on many, many videos that are out there. I would encourage you, as Wheels did, to not watch them if you don't want it to stick with you, because the one up close is very, very graphic. And unfortunately, you see a copious amount of blood come out of Charlie Kirk's neck onto his shoulders. And as CBS News reported, it, quote, is not looking good. And after seeing that video, I can't imagine that it is looking good. I hope they can save him. I hope he has a full recovery. It seems hollow to have to say, I don't agree with him politically, but he's a human being and he didn't deserve to be shot in the neck.
Nope.
And it shouldn't have happened. They arrested someone, the person who they arrested, at least. I was not there. I didn't see him do it, but the person who they have taken into custody appears to be about a late 50s, 60-year-old guy, kind of pudgy white guy with gray hair and a bald top of his head. I'm not sure what I would have expected or what I would have been surprised by, but that's the person they took into custody. Happened in front of hundreds of kids at this university. So they've got that on them for the rest of their life.
Yeah, I mean, and the people in the crowd, I mean, as soon as you can, and you can hear the gunshot, and it's a loud gunshot. It's not, it sounds like it's something pretty powerful. It doesn't sound like just a handgun or anything like that. But as soon as it happened, the whole crowd panics, right? Everybody's yelling. They're running. These are college kids. Another shooting on a college campus. These are college kids now running for their lives because they don't know what's going on. You grow up in a time where gunshots on a campus are not that foreign, and you see that panic. But yet,
go ahead.
No, sorry. It's just, there's just we're gonna play the same games we always do. We're gonna have people yelling at it. There are already people that have figured out the political leanings of the guy that they detained. We don't even know if he's been arrested. We just know that they detained a guy because you remember there were things. There were protests. There were which was it? there was a shooting not long ago where they detained 2 people, but they were not they ended up not being the suspects, but everybody identified them as the
That
shooters.
happened in KC.
Right, in Kansas City. Right, it was at the Chiefs parade. And nobody can slow down. That's the scariest part about this from a social media perspective, is that it's all gas, no brakes. Slow down. They're going to figure it out.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi has shared after this happened. She said, political violence has absolutely no place in our nation. All Americans should pray for Charlie Kirk's recovery and hold the entire community in our hearts as they endure the trauma of this gun violence.
She knows as well as anybody. Remember her husband?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good point. Right. Yeah. And boy, didn't that get wild? Conspiracy theories and people just throwing stuff out there. I just don't get, I do get it, because people benefit from the engagement on social media. So you get more engagement when you're sensational. We have to learn as a society, we don't take the bait. Do not take the bait. If you see all that stuff, there will be an investigation. There will be an arrest, a prosecution, all of that. We will find these things out, but we are not going to find them out today, or at least not in the minutes that follow, right? You're not going to know this instantaneously. So anything you're seeing that's suggesting that it knows, they don't. And it's okay. There's nothing changing if you allow things to take their course.
It's not only terrible because a human being has been shot and could die from their injuries, but it also is going to have just a big chill effect on free speech. You know,
sure hope not,
people going out there and holding public forums and taking questions and debating people, or at least like really, really heightened security. They were interviewing some of the kids that were at this event, and there seems to have been very little security and no checks and no metal detectors. He just set up in the quad and started taking questions and debating students, and the person walked up and shot him.
Yeah, we don't, whatever the video that we saw, you don't see the shooter in the video. It's off screen somewhere.
Yes.
So we don't know the distance at this point. Again, all of it will be there, though. We don't need to know that now. We don't need to know, was he 100 feet away? Was he 100 yards away? We don't need to know any of that at the moment. What we need to do is just let the police do their job. Let investigators do their jobs. They'll sort it out. This one seems like it's going to be, there's a crowded place. If there were witnesses that saw the person pull the trigger, it's going to be easy to identify them. There will be forensics. There'll be all these things that go into it. That will tell us what the story is.
Yeah. Okay. So in the immediate, right now here in this studio in St. Louis, we're still doing a radio show. I don't think we have enough information to continue talking about this. I think we have plenty of information to say what we've said, which is it is terrible. It shouldn't happen. This is not the way we do things. Andrew and Wheels had a very spirited debate in the 2:00 hour right after this happened. I would encourage you to maybe go listen to that on the podcast. It was worth listening to. 2 different paradigms and 2 different approaches to this. But at this point, I'm going to make the executive call that we are going to go ahead with the show as normal. We will keep our eye on this. The newsroom is watching this very closely. When Michael Calhoun tells us that there is an update on his condition, we will bring it to you. But other than that, we're going to go ahead with a regular show. So, Rach, why don't we break a little early here? We'll come back and we'll do DGS Happy Hour, something that we would normally do on the DGS.
We get it. Attention spans just aren't what they used to be. Heads in social media and eyes on Netflix. But what do people do with their ears? Well, for one, they're listening to audio. Americans spend 4.4 hours with audio every day. Oh, and you want the proof? Well, you just sat through this ad that's now approaching 30 seconds. What could you say to a potential customer in 30 seconds? Let Odyssey put together a media plan tailor-made for your unique marketing needs. Advertise with Odyssey. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
So there is a lot of competition out there for Underdog Fantasy Sports app. As you know, you're not living in a cave. You know that things have changed in Missouri, and there are going to be a lot of ways to have fun with sports and making money. Let me make the case for Underdog, though. Underdog is simple to use. That's number one. So for anyone out there like me who's not very technically savvy, you are not going to have a problem with this. It is a lot of fun. It rewards your knowledge and your acumen of whatever sport you are playing. I played a lot of baseball, a little bit of hockey, mostly with my beloved Cardinals because I know the most about them and can kind of follow the way someone is trending. And they say, Sonny Gray is going to get 4.5 strikeouts. And I say, nah, that's crap. He's going to get 6 or 7. And so that's the way I do it. Football is kind of taken over right now, as you would expect. When you're playing football, you can just choose whether your favorite player will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, lots of ways to enjoy it. And it just enhances my enjoyment of the game. And you can win some money. You can win up to 5,000 times your cash, and you can play with as little as $1. So what do you need to do? Simply download the app today, sign up with promo code Glover, and you're going to get $50 put into your account in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code Glover. Must be 18 and present in the state of Missouri.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
It's easy to feel apprehensive about getting screened for cancer or to just keep putting it off. But Siteman Cancer Center wants to remind you how important it is, especially after the age of 40. And they also want you to know how easy it is to get it done. GetScreenedNow.com has all the information you need on cancers like prostate, breast, colon, lung cancer. You can also find out your risk of disease by answering just a few simple questions. And then you can find one of the hundreds of screening locations in the area. Even if you're a little farther out, there is probably a place near you. You have heard this before, but catching cancer early dramatically increases the odds of a successful treatment, especially with so many cancers showing up earlier in life. So do not be intimidated. Siteman will make the process as simple as possible. GetScreenedNow.com. Do it for your family and friends who count on you. Do it for yourself. Visit GetScreenedNow.com.
Setting goals for retirement is one thing, but knowing how to achieve those goals is another.
What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What's retirement look like for you? Because everybody, that picture is different.
For tips on building a better nest egg, tune in to the All Financial Hour with host Steve All, Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6, right here on KMOX. You can also visit YourMoneyMattersSTL.com for more details.
The Chris and Amy Show, weekdays starting at 9 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS. You can join us on the stream through Facebook or YouTube. Today was especially active even before this shooting in Utah, but since then it's been very, very active, and it is a really good place to share your opinions and your thoughts and even cross swords or debate fellow listeners or members of the show, so you can always do that, and you can watch us do the show. Okay, let's do a DGS Happy Hour. Who wants to start it off?
I'll go.
Okay.
Got a bunch of things. So I don't know which of these things I want to get into more than the other, so maybe we can let you guys pick because there's some really interesting stuff. We got a NASA story where they found what they're saying might be the, quote, clearest sign yet of ancient life on Mars.
Okay.
And then we also have a video played by Eric Burleson from Missouri in Congress of an unidentified aerial phenomenon being shot at with a Tomahawk missile, being hit, and then just bouncing off and keeping on going.
Pretty crazy.
Let's do that one first, just because it's stunning to me that we have, again, this is a video from the military. I think it happened in 2024. This is presented in Congress, this video. It's shown, you can see Tomahawk missile hits, and it just looks like an orb on the screen, right? You can't see much of anything. Hits it, looks like something breaks off, but then that thing that broke off continues to follow the UAP that was shot by a Tomahawk, and so many questions. Like, one, okay, this is military technology. They're shooting at something. Two, you're shooting at things you don't know what they are? And maybe, do you know what it is?
Do we know who was shooting?
Well, for sure, no. But I mean, it was a Tomahawk missile from a drone, I think.
It was from us.
Yes.
Okay.
My understanding of the way it was described in the hearing as it was presented. The video is pretty crazy. I mean, again, it's somewhat black and white. It's right. It's the FLIR, the FLIR imaging. You're not seeing a lot of detail there. And it just seems like it's a nothing burger, this story. This got played in Congress. This is military video with people, real Congress people, looking at it going, yeah, well, we shot at a UAP and we hit it and nothing really happened. It kind of kept on going on its way. And I'm like, okay, I have a million questions. Like, do we shoot at things when we don't know what they are? How do you know what's going to happen if you hit it? What if it's something that if you hit it, it basically goes nuclear? Like, or do you know or have a suspicion and that's why you're shooting at it? Is that not
reasonable questions?
Wild story?
Did you see our boys at Coulthard? Is that how you say his name?
Ross Coulthard, yeah.
Yeah. That the Tic Tac from the famous video from a few years ago, he says is our technology, and it's out of Lockheed Martin. And they have the schematics for it, which I saw on TikTok today. Could be fake.
Yeah.
But that's pretty interesting. I mean, he's a real guy and says that he is absolutely categorically sure that the Tic Tac is our technology and it was invented in the early 2000s. Now that's nuts.
I mean, it does track with past technological breakthroughs, right? In that we don't always know about it until 20 years later.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like that much stuff gets kept secret these days. So how much do you think there is like out of this world, crazy, unbelievable, so unbelievable that when we see it, we think it can't possibly be human technology that we have right now that we just don't, that the general public doesn't know about?
It's an interesting question because what I always think to myself, like they're about to do the F-47, this 7th generation fighter.
Yeah.
Well, why are you wasting your time with that slow ass piece of crap? If we've got things that can go from 80,000 feet to sea level in less than a second. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why are we wasting our time with an army or the Marines or why are we wasting our time with any of it?
Why are we intentionally hamstringing ourselves?
If we really have this technology, to me, that would be bigger than the Manhattan Project.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could be a lot of things. I mean, it could be not ready to be produced at scale, and it may take. They may know it's going to take 10 years, and in those 10 years, you don't want to fall behind. Be my guess is, to. Because I can think about we didn't know when the stealth fighter first came out, nobody knew it was there, and it was like, was it 20 years before? 20 years it was invented. 20 years before it became public knowledge. And we've seen that with other technologies where there's this big gap between, and you listen to interviews like I do, Dave, you hear all these people that work in intelligence or they work in science, and they're like, oh yeah, the ARPA and those people that are, searching out new things, they're 20 years ahead of the public. Anything you can dream of, they're probably working on, which is nuts.
Yeah.
And then it raised the question, should we know about that stuff or not?
So 3I Atlas, which we've had Avi Loeb on from Harvard several times, it's the third interstellar object that we know of that has entered our solar system. And we've talked to you about how it's different and it's 30 kilometers long and it's this wide and it's this huge thing. And it is shooting out nickel without iron, which doesn't happen in nature. It happens in electronics. And now they're saying that it's changing its shape and that they think it could be being steered. And this is the way it happens. This is probably a rock.
Yeah.
Probably a comet.
Stuff we don't know because we haven't seen it.
Right. It's from another world. And even if it's not intelligent or have little green men piloting it, it's from another solar system.
Yeah, it's from someplace that none of us have ever been.
Yeah.
I mean, we have pictures of those places, but you haven't really been up close to study them. And it's kind of like you don't know what you don't know, right? How many things are we still discovering on Earth?
Yeah. Rach, you got something?
I do. So I kind of just want to get your guys' thoughts on this. I personally find this to be overly mean, but I'm interested in your opinion. So there's this Russian tennis player. Her name is Anna Kalinskaya. I hope I said her name right. She basically exposed this other tennis player for sending her DMs on Instagram. I don't think he was being like aggressive or inappropriate. I think he was just trying to get her attention over and over again. And she did an interview and she like called him out, called him hopeless.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is actually the second time there was another player who called him out like last week
Same
or the
guy?
week before. Yes. His name is Rune or Rune. I'm never sure how to say his name because I've heard it both ways. But yeah, someone else was like, yeah, he sent me a DM, but I'm married and he needs to not DM people. He's basically come out and said, like, I don't know, maybe we have like cultural differences to where you think me replying to an Instagram story is me asking you for a date, but it's not like that. I think he probably was trying to get with these girls. I mean, that's generally how this happens. But my question for you guys is, do you also find it like maybe overly mean to like go to the press and be like, this guy wants to go on a date with me, but I won't because I think he's a loser?
Yeah, movers move. You got to make your move.
Shoot or shoot.
If you see a cute girl or whatever and you want to ask her out, just say like, I'm married. Sorry, can't do it.
Yeah, it's the whole taking it to the media thing, which I just find a little, it's like, whoa, I don't know if he deserved all of that.
Unless he's like super aggressive.
That's what I'm
and
saying too.
Not taking no for an answer. Then you can be like, I gotta let people know about this guy. But if he just says like, hey, I loved your match the other day.
Mhm.
We're gonna be in the same city. Let's go out. And you're like, no, sorry, I'm married. I gotta air the poor guy out. He's trying to get a date.
Yeah, I'm feeling kind of bad for him, honestly. They're not getting the intended result out of
No,
this story.
certainly not.
It's mean to call him hopeless.
I forget, Andrew, what was it a few years ago that we talked about putting my name on, or we did put my name on, that like went to space? Remember that?
Yes.
Do you remember this?
I do.
And I don't remember what it was. I don't remember if we actually did it. But anyway, Artemis 2, which is going to go to the moon and it's going to orbit the moon. They are inviting people to put their names on a digital something that will be on the spacecraft as it goes around the moon. So my question to you guys is that meaningless to you that somewhere on this craft are ones and zeros that say Kevin Wheeler? Yeah. Is it cool at all?
To me, it's not.
Yeah.
What if the aliens become fans? What if they're like, this Wheeler guy, he's pretty smart.
Just wait till they get to know me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also don't find it cool. Like,
really?
Yeah, like who cares?
If
Oh,
it
my
was
name
like-
was on the paper.
If you're gonna
Neat.
paint my name on the moon, all right.
Yeah, if like my face is on there, if you got like a picture of me, like a,
What
8x5 or whatever.
What if they had like a small object that went around the orbit of the moon that you could have?
That would be awesome.
Like
a coin or something. Would that be impactful to you?
Nah.
I want
Really?
I want a space coin real bad.
Yeah.
That sounds very fun.
Emergency evacuation
Breaking
order.
news that earns national recognition doesn't happen by chance. It's driven by the relentless focus, dedication, and commitment of a trusted newsroom.
Floodwaters are closing
Recently
roads and
honored with a National Edward R. Murrow Award for breaking news, the KMOX newsroom continues to be the vital source of information for our region.
Shelter in place.
Timely reporting every day and rising to the moment when major stories unfold. 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State. New Missouri customers can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. And when we go live, place just a $5 bet to unlock $300 in bonus bets. Starting November 17th, you can create your DraftKings Sportsbook account in Missouri and get ready for launch day on December 1st. DraftKings Sportsbook brings you everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
That baby's gone! Cardinals fans, FanDuel Sports Network is your home of the Cardinals. That ball was mashed. And there are more ways to watch this season. Holy cow! Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream the Cardinals without blackouts. How about that play? Or watch through a TV provider. Incredible! Including DirecTV, Spectrum, Xfinity, Fubo, and more. He got it! Learn more at cardinals.com/TV. Ball game! It couldn't have worked out any better for the Cardinals.
Traffic from the MichaelsFloorandOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, if you're heading home this afternoon on westbound Highway 70, you've got some slow stuff, barely slow at the city limits, and there's more heavy traffic from about Lake St. Louis Boulevard out through 61 right now. Westbound 64 from Kings Highway out to Clayton Skinker, or approaching Lindbergh to Ballas. It's busy. Let's call it Boone's Crossing to the bridge. There's a little slowdown west of K, west of Winghaven, and then Lake St. Louis Boulevard at 70 busy. Typically slow on South 270 from Page down to Manchester, but after that it's good down to 55. North 270 Clayton Road to Ladue is heavy. Both directions of the interbelt between the Parkway and 64 is slow. Southbound a little further down to 64. The delays continue, obviously. Southbound 55 Gasconade Bates. Busier in Jeffco, though. Z all the way down to Highway A is very heavy. Eastbound 70 across the Musel Veterans Bridge is backed up. Looks like we had an incident at the Illinois end of the bridge there. Good news on northbound 255. The delays are not there now, north of 64 to Collinsville Road at least. I'm Roger Brand at the Michaels Flooring Outlet.com Traffic Center.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contrast. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill. But those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in. Cool as can be. Tap Good RX. Saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. Deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Don't let mosquitoes ruin your time outdoors. At Rottler Pest Solutions, our mosquito control services are designed to dramatically reduce mosquito activity so you can enjoy your yard in peace. Protect your family from mosquitoes, ticks, and more with safe, effective treatments from Rottler. Plus, with flexible scheduling and 24/7 support, we're here when you need us. Take back your yard. Visit Rottler.com today to schedule your free inspection. At Rottler, we know St. Louis pests because we know St. Louis best.
It's never too early to start thinking about your retirement journey, and it's never too late either. You just need to know that the steps may look a little different. Listen to Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg, Saturday mornings at 7 here on KMOX.
The countdown to kickoff starts here. Friday's focus on Mizzou, the Chiefs, and the NFL, only on KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. The newsroom continues to work on this story about conservative activist Charlie Kirk being shot in the neck at an appearance at a university in Utah. When we get any sort of an update on his condition, we will let you know. Dave Murray joined us now. Hello, Dave.
Hello there.
How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Good.
Doing okay.
Good. Any thoughts on that story since you're just now joining the show?
I saw it clear on Wall Street Journal. I don't know. This country is just getting bizarre. Just getting bizarre. I don't care what your politics are. You don't pull a gun out and shoot somebody.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Yep.
Period.
Yep. Not only does it affect that person, it affects everyone there. It affects the whole country. It just it changes the temperature.
And think about just immediately think about family. I mean, think about his family,
who I believe was there.
Yeah, if you don't want to think about anything else, think about what you might be doing, not only to that person, but the family.
Yeah.
Then carry it through the everything. Just carry it through everything.
And an update, we had reported that someone was taken into custody. It appears that they were, but then released. Right, Kev?
Yeah, it's gone back and forth because CBS News had originally cited university police as saying they had the shooter in custody. But that was just a person being detained. It turns out that well, at least based on what we know now, that person is no longer in custody. And that means that the shooter is not in custody.
Yes.
So,
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. Again, it's already changed a couple times in the last half hour. So this is why when I said earlier, everybody just calm down.
Which is why we
let it sort out.
Which honestly, don't listen to me. Listen to Michael Calhoun.
Yeah.
Listen to Maria Kina. That's why KMOX has the newsroom that it has.
Yep.
We will report what we get from them. And if something changes in Charlie Kirk's condition, we'll hear about it from Michael Calhoun.
Yes.
Dave, let's do the weather.
All right. Guess what? It's going to be summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's coming back. Yeah, we had about 3 weeks of amazing weather.
Yeah.
Below average temperatures day and night. The good news, I mean, we're kind of upper 80s right now. Humidity levels are still pretty easy to take, so it doesn't really feel like 88 degrees. But 92 tomorrow. Let's call it moderate humidity on Thursday. Still kind of bearable. Friday, it's sunny, hot, and humid. 95 on Friday. The record is 98 from 1956. 71 for the overnight low Friday night. The weekend's hot and humid. Saturday, sunny, 96, short of the record of 100. And then Sunday, partly sunny, hot and humid, 95, maybe, just maybe an isolated thunderstorm Sunday afternoon, but the odds are very, very small on that. That 95 on Sunday, also short of the record. Records over the weekend are 100 and 101. This will carry us at least Tuesday, Wednesday of next week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be around for a while.
All right.
But maybe maybe this is the last hurrah.
I can live with that.
You take it, let's say to the 17th of September. That's getting pretty hard. Of course, we said it would be hard to get to 95, and it appears we're going to do that.
Yeah. Headlines, Rach.
Brought to you by Schnucks. Reward yourself daily with the Schnucks Rewards app. So, former Vice President Kamala Harris is admitting that her silence on Biden's decision to run for re-election in 2024 was recklessness. But she said she felt she was not in a position to advise him otherwise.
Well,
which is kind of an interesting thing to say because you're the vice president. I just don't know who else would be there to advise him if not for the vice president.
What is she saying was reckless, Rach?
Her silence when Biden said he was running again. So, I mean, I guess she's basically admitting we all thought that was a bad idea, but no one wants to tell the big guy he's wrong.
That's pretty amazing since it was years before that.
Zohran Mamdani has a 15-point lead over Andrew Cuomo in the four-way race for mayor of New York City. This is according to a recent poll. The lefty Democratic nominee is favored by 43% of voters. And he holds a significant lead among voters under 50. And is generally considered more likable than his rivals. 48% of voters say they have a favorable opinion of him.
What do you guys think of having Democratic Socialists as an experiment be, say, the mayor of a major city?
I mean, as an experiment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See how it goes?
I'd be interested to see what he could even get done in what is a very, collaborative political nation, right? Like being the mayor of New York doesn't necessarily give you like absolute power over the city of New York. And then the city of New York is just one city in a very, very large country, right? So I would be curious if he does want to make any big dramatic changes, what those could even realistically be.
Could we maybe start that in like Dayton instead of New York City? If we're going to run an experiment, let's not take it to the biggest city in the country.
I mean, but it's like we always say, this is what the people seem to want. I mean, he's leading in the polls. Who am I to tell New York City, no, that's actually the wrong choice for you. Okay, a cruise ship passenger in Puerto Rico jumped overboard, allegedly to avoid a $16,000 gambling debt.
What?
This was a debt that was accrued in casino play during a week-long cruise on Royal Caribbean's Rhapsody of the Seas. So he attempted to evade taxes by leaping overboard and was found with cash, multiple IDs, and a jet ski escape. He's facing charges for attempting to avoid monetary reporting requirements and could receive up to 5 years in prison or a $250,000 penalty.
Oh, you thought that one through all the way.
Yeah.
I know what I'll do. I'll just jump off of the boat.
I didn't realize you could run up that big a debt on a boat.
Yeah, it's kind of
It doesn't seem quite right to me.
Doesn't it seem like there should maybe be some
limits?
I don't know. I don't know
This
what he
is just for fun kind of stuff.
I don't know what he did. I don't know if he ran up his credit card, but in that case, he wouldn't have to jump off the boat because it wouldn't be the boat people coming after
It
him.
sounds like he didn't lose. It sounds like he won. He was trying to avoid
It's
the
kind of
taxes.
confusing.
Oh yeah. So he
was like, now I'm going off the grid.
Wait, so he jumped off with the money?
Yeah.
So he thinks $16,000 is worth that?
I guess so.
Okay, I've totally misunderstood the story.
Okay, one more big congratulations to Larry Ellison. He has eclipsed Elon Musk as the world's richest person. Just slow
about
clap
that?
for this guy. Congratulations
Yeah.
to you.
I don't know if I like the world's richest man being named Larry.
Why?
I don't know. It's one of those things that we talk about
Not that
sometimes.
impressive.
Yeah, one of those things we talk about on the show. No disrespect to our Larrys out there, but like,
Needs to be like Agamemnon or something.
yeah, I don't know why. It just kind of like hits a weird thing.
You know, he owns the island of Lanai. He's going big into Oxford University.
Lanai is a much better name.
I don't know.
His name was Oxford Ellison.
I kind of like knowing the Pope's name is Bob. It's kind of nice thinking of a Larry instead of an Elon.
So you think he's the everyman's richest man in the world?
I don't know about that.
He's just like me, for real.
He's the blue collar working man.
He's got a normal person name.
Larry.
He's just like me.
Okay, according to a new report, Barron Trump has moved into the White House to start his sophomore year at NYU. When I initially saw this, I assumed he would be like taking the chopper to New York every day, but they do have a Washington, D.C. campus that takes a limited amount of students. So that's where Barron will be attending and living at the White House. So there's your little Barron Trump update of the day. Hundreds of hours of unseen footage from 9/11 is headed to the public. The New York Public Library recently acquired an archive that is considered the largest collection of 9/11 video documentation. Obviously, this happened before smartphones were everywhere and everyone was filming everything. So this footage is very rare. The library plans to open the collection for on-site use in 2027, and we'll all be able to view it online by 2030.
I was just watching something on 9/11, and it was featuring a guy that was basically the head of disaster response in New York. And on the morning of 9/11, he talks about how he went to his office, which was next to the World Trade Center. And he said something that really stuck with me. He said, I pulled out the morning paper because we didn't have smartphones. And I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
By the way, okay, I'm just going to read the headline on CNN. According to Trump, Charlie Kirk is dead.
Yeah, he put that on Truth Social.
Okay.
That's what we're seeing. I don't
Right.
know. Yeah, I don't know if it's gone beyond that yet, but that's what they're showing on the screen.
Yeah. So strange way to learn that coming from the president, but
yeah,
I'm assuming he would be sufficiently careful to not put it out there if it weren't true. And having seen the video from up close, like, it's not surprising. That was pretty brutal.
Yeah, it was bad.
You want to do another headline here?
Sure.
Let's see, kind of in line with all this space stuff you guys were talking about a couple segments ago. NASA says that a rock sample from Mars has a potential biosignature of life. So it's not a direct evidence of life itself, but it's a leftover sign that features on the rock may have had biological origins. So there's a
fascinating.
possibility of a possibility.
It's a crazy story because NASA has studied this for a year. And the only explanation that they can come up with, it doesn't mean there isn't another one, but the only one that they can come up with scientifically is that those markings had something to do with biological, with some form of life, whether it was, cellular, whether it was beyond that. There's not much clarity yet, but they're trying to get that sample. The sample is not here. The sample is still on Mars, and they're trying to figure out how to get the sample back here in a realistic way so that we can look more at it. But when NASA is saying it's the clearest sign yet of some form of life on Mars.
Two things. One, I think if I live a natural lifetime, we will know for sure that there is life outside of Earth. And my guess is it's going to be pretty plentiful. I don't know that it's going to be like us, but I was just reading this fascinating article last weekend, how, forever now scientists have been trying to figure out, well, how did life happen? Did God speak it into existence? Was it amino acids and proteins? And they said that they think chemically it was much easier and simpler than what we have thought in the past, which leads them to believe that it could have happened most everywhere. So fascinating. All right, Dave, thank you. We appreciate it.
You got it.
Tell you guys about Ophthalmology Associates and the Cornea and Laser Vision Institute. I think it was just yesterday or the day before that I was complaining about this sty on my eye, and Dr. Birdie, who's my doctor over there, along with his longtime partner, Dr. Malhotra, doctors Brusati and Royer, round out the doctor's doctor. And he texted me and he called in a prescription. And I'm not saying that that's going to happen with you because you don't have a radio show for him to hear it. But I can tell you that the doctors are excellent, that they are medical doctors. Most doctors, like optometrists, it's a noble profession, but they're technicians. They're not physicians. The doctors at ophthalmology are medical doctors. So if there's something more sinister, they're going to find it. If there's something more sinister, they're going to be able to treat it. Not going to cost you more money than going somewhere else, but you're going to have that peace of mind. So whether it is a pretty straightforward eye exam, or it's something more targeted that you've been having pain or blurry vision, whatever whatever it is, just know that they're going to get to the bottom of it. There are several locations around town. To pick the one nearest to you, call 314-966-5000 or your iDoc.com.
This is a CBS News special report. I'm Maurice Dubois. The conservative political activist Charlie Kirk has died after being shot in the neck during an event at Utah Valley University earlier this afternoon. The 31-year-old was the CEO and the co-founder of Turning Point USA, a conservative organization. CBS News confirmed there had been threats against Kirk. A Utah Valley spokesperson says a suspect is not in custody. A motive is not known at this time. President Trump just posted on Truth Social the following: the great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me, and now he is no longer with us. Melania, and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you. The statement there from President Trump as Charlie Kirk, we are told now, has died. Scott McFarland, our justice correspondent, with me now from Washington. Scott, when it comes to the investigation, we were told earlier that there was a suspect, and now we're told that person has been let go.
Yeah, a university statement given shortly after the shooting, it said a suspect was in custody and that the campus is closed. The university then changed the statement to reflect that a suspect is not in custody, or they took that part away from their statement, which gives the indication that there is either a manhunt underway or a suspect about which we don't know the condition or the location. The FBI and the ATF are among the investigators on the scene, along with local police. But let's take a look at that Utah Valley University statement. It says on September 10th, 2025, 12:20, it's Mountain Time, a single shot rang out in the quad near the food court on the Utah Valley University Orem campus. That's as Mr. Charlie Kirk began speaking at his planned rally. We can confirm that Mr. Kirk was shot. We don't know his condition. The suspect is not in custody. Police are still investigating. Campus is closed for the rest of the day. So you have federal law enforcement on scene. You have university police and local police. The FBI's Salt Lake City field office is there as well and responding. But there's no information now as to if there's a suspect that's known to law enforcement, where that suspect is, if a suspect is wounded, in custody, or otherwise. So we'll wait to see what law enforcement has to tell us. But that's obviously an enormous variable right now as the campus remains closed and as the country reacts to this tragedy.
Okay, Scott McFarland, thank you so much. Certainly a shock to the system. Reaction pouring in from across the political spectrum this afternoon as Charlie Kirk, people trying to process his death here. Senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe joined us as we watch this video. Ed, this is the moment that he was shot. Blood was then seen pouring from the side of his head, from his neck, and now this.
That's right. We're now more than an hour since this happened, and the concern and the prayers expressed by Republican leadership especially came quickly. We've seen several Democratic Party leaders as well condemn political violence in this country. This is yet another high-profile example of it. And I think, Maurice, it's important that we acknowledge that there are probably many people watching right now who don't necessarily know who Charlie Kirk is, are not familiar with the work he's been doing for the last several years, because in our increasingly digital and divided world, he may not have been served up to them in their algorithm and in their feeds. And he is a 31-year-old from the Chicago suburbs, as you said, founded this group Turning Point USA back in 2012, inspired by the Tea Party movement. And he very quickly became a really influential conservative leader, especially among younger conservatives, galvanizing them to vote for various Republican candidates, and became very close with the Trump family, the president, Donald Trump Jr. especially. He was among those that pushed now President Trump to select J.D. Vance as his running mate, believing that Vance reflected the future of the Make America Great Again movement, and was able to convince him to do that. And then last year, during the presidential transition, was in Palm Beach at Mar-a-Lago on a regular basis, meeting with the president directly, handpicking potential leaders for the new Trump administration, cabinet secretaries and other senior government officials weighing in saying that they were key to the new government. And he was hosting, in this case, as you can see there on the 10th, the American Comeback Tour. This was the opening of this tour that was set to go to other campuses across the country. They regularly draw thousands of people, mostly students, mostly men. And as you see there on the tent, it says, "Prove me wrong." He had this popular segment where he would essentially sit at a table, and in this case, under a tent, and invite people who disagree with him on issues to, quote, "prove me wrong." And they would have an exchange of ideas that was generally respectful. And it could be on anything from issues in the Constitution to something in the cultural zeitgeist at the moment. And the goal was to just have those free flow of exchanges between them. But he was most especially an influential and key figure in the Trump movement. Again, close with the president, and many in the White House who this afternoon are quite stricken by this news. Our colleagues who are over at the White House say when this news broke, as they learned about it as we did, many of them rushed into closed-door meetings and have been seen to be quite upset by this, understandably, because this is somebody who worked with them to get Donald Trump reelected, and in many cases probably weighed in on whether or not they should be holding the jobs they do, and would have campaigned alongside him back in the day.
Okay, Ed O'Keefe, thank you for that. Vice President J.D. Vance weighing in, saying, "Eternal rest grant unto him, O Lord," sending out a prayer for Charlie Kirk. 31 years old, a major figure on the right. Even if you don't know him, he was known and loved by many people across the country. Let's go to our CBS News Chief Washington analyst, Robert Costa. You can't overstate his impact on the right, Bob.
A tragic moment with many developments at this time. The governor of Utah has just posted on social media, Governor Cox, that he.
You've been listening to CBS. Let's take you to CNN now. Scott Jennings is weighing in on
something
this.
that some young people might find to be boring or out of reach, and he made it relevant and interesting for them. And once he had them, and once they were involved, he had then this ability to motivate them to do something with that. If you've ever been to one of these Turning Point USA rallies, I went to the one in Tampa just a few weeks ago, and I was honored. He invited me to speak there. It was the first time I had done so. And it's just arena full of young people. Some are in college, some are in high school, some are just young adults. And their enthusiasm and zeal for the future of our country and how you change it for the better, and how they arrived at that was so inspiring. The way they arrived at it was because they were inspired by someone who knew how to use his voice, knew how to engage in debate and political rhetoric. What he was doing was the opposite of what's happened to Charlie. What's happened to him is violent, but he was using his words and his speech, which is our first protected freedom in this country. And so we're going to miss Charlie, and we pray for his wife and those babies. He leaves behind a young family. People like this who exist in the public sphere, we know them as public actors, and we see them in front of crowds, and we see them on TV, and we hear them on the radio. But they go home at night too, and they open a front door, and they hug a wife, and they hug children, and they put them down, and they oversee the toothbrushing and everything, just like the rest of us. And so there's that side of them that we don't often think about, but Charlie was doing that too. So I just think in moments like this, it's easy to analyze the politics, but there was Charlie the husband and Charlie the father, and he'll be missed forever.
That is CNN senior political commentator Scott Jennings. Our breaking news that we have been bringing you is confirmation from President Trump that commentator Charlie Kirk has died after a shooting at an event at a university. We'll have more coming up in the news at 4.
It's back, and you're invited to join us in Forest Park, September 19th and 20th, for the 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend, presented by PNC Bank. Attendance is free, and the number of memories and photos you can capture is endless. Special thanks to New Ground International and Blue Moon Brewing Company. The 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend. For more details, visit the events page at KMOX.com.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Vira Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I